Welcome, guys, to my Traitors US Season 2 finale and reunion recap episode. Yes, I know we're a week late. Yes, I was in Colombia. I am now back. And so, joining me today to chit chat a week later, this reunion and finale episode is Miss TJoy and Janelle. Miss TJoy, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you. Happy Sunday.
And Janelle, how are you?
Good. I'm excited to wrap this up.
I agree. I will say just some basic thoughts. Um, really liked the season. It was very entertaining.
Yeah.
I need a little bit different gameplay going forward. Just joining us is Debu. Hi, Debu.
Hi, Deborah.
Um, and I'm only saying this is I feel like there was so much more gameplay season 1, and I understand we had civilians playing. That being said, we had people playing circles around them. So it doesn't I don't feel like it takes being a gamer, because I don't feel like just the gamers were playing circles around the civilians last season, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we just need more gameplay. And so that being said, and a little less ties, like less Bravo connections, more reality stars. I want to see reality stars that have, like, we know they can bring entertainment. We know that they can bring TV. Maybe they did not play a game, or maybe they did, like a Omarosa or Nene Leaks, right? Where they were on The Apprentice, so they played a game, but also they bring the entertainment. They bring the drama. I
Mm-hmm.
need more people like that. I need more combo people and less just entertaining, because I feel like what we saw at this tail end, this finale, this reunion is the reason why we got a lot of the perceptions that we got, is because it literally felt like a line was drawn between just gamers, just reality stars, and I need more combos.
Well, I think it was also who was left from the reality stars. I like MJ, but she not the sharpest, you know, tool in
Oh
the
yeah.
shed. So, it's just kind of like, of course, Trishelle and CT can run circles around her. Like she don't know what's going on. Okay, like that shock face was real. Like, oh my god, what's going on?
She was like, I was laughing. I'm like, oh my god, MJ's face.
That face was real. Okay, because it was like she
uh,
don't know what to do. So I
Dabu
think it was the particular people. I really do.
Debu says to replay those civilians like fools. Need more whole cast of people from reality TV. Agreed. I don't mind the full reality TV people. I just need less Bravo people, and I'm not being discriminatory. Like
You
insane.
are. No, you are, Tamika.
No, I am not. There is a wide range of reality TV that is not gamers and not Bravo. Like we were
Okay,
having
like
the
who?
discussion yesterday. America's Next Top Model was a whole ass reality TV show. Why are there no people from there? They're not on contract.
Is it still coming on?
No,
No.
that's what I'm saying. It's not.
Oh, you're
There's no
gonna have to
people on
do
contract.
reality. If we do reality TV stars that are not really current, they have to have at least been very popular. None of the
Yes.
reality stars from that were popular, except for people like Yaya and Eva, and
No. If
Eva's
you
on
watched America's
Bravo
Next
and
Top Model,
BET, that were real popular. Like who?
Jade, Camille, the people who brought the drama, even Eva,
Oh, Camille. That's true.
obviously has a reality show, a Bravo tie, which I would say Eva, but I literally am trying to cut
Good
both
now,
sides.
Bravo. Right.
But there are people who were on there that literally there are memes of them. They are iconic and people remember them. They would come on the show and bring a whole new audience and people would die even if they like got murdered or kicked off or wasn't a traitor. People would come to watch them and they would at least bring drama and TV.
See, I was fine with what they brought. I felt like just listening to some interviews, some exit press, I think that a lot of the gameplay was maybe left out of the edit. Like Sandra talked about a whole smokers alliance that none of us knew anything about. There was a whole tweet about it. It was Trishelle, MJ, CT, and another Kate when she came. She was like, there was a whole smoke, and those all those people were in the end. We never knew anything about that alliance. Do you know what I mean? I think that there are a lot of things listening to the exit press that players are saying that we did not see and we weren't privy to because they try to hide things or they're trying to make it dramatic for us at home. So they're leaving a lot of the gameplay and the interest out in favor of that to me. And I don't want a lot of people that are always on level 10. It can be exhausting. We can have half of people that are always on 10 and then maybe some medium people. I like to see people that maybe don't exactly know what they're doing and they have to fumble their way and try to figure. I like to see that too. I don't want all super gamers either. I don't know. I like a mix of, I don't know, they don't know what they're doing. They're a little goofy, they're a little aloof, and then hardcore gamers. I like the mix. I think that makes it interesting too.
So you're not agreeing with Dabu here, who says less Kevin, Sheree, and Max?
Not necessarily.
Sheree wasn't even featured that much. Max was gone after the third episode. And like Max wasn't even on there. Now let's Kevin, yes. Let's Kevin, yes. But the other
listen, there was a point where Kevin was like close. He was like this close, and then he got murdered. But I'm just saying.
I want less of the morality police, but I think that's just hard to determine who's gonna swing that way or not.
So the people that Dabu is talking about, the two Bachelor people, because Ari and PP, Pilot Beats. Right. I agree. I don't want morality police. You might, if you're going to have morality police on here, might as well just throw civilians on here. There's no reason to have morality cops. And I you know, Peter gave an interview. I think it was either with RJP or Sharon Tharp, and he was just talking about how he couldn't play a game. He couldn't be a traitor, and he couldn't play a game like Sari did. You mean you couldn't play a winning game?
That's what he said?
Yes. He said, I couldn't play like that. Huh?
Pete?
Yeah, Pilot Pete. I couldn't play that way.
When you just said on the reunion that you wish that she would have chose you as a traitor.
Yes, because then she would have won. But, I mean, to be fair, he's right. Strategically, it would have been better for her.
But then you're doing another interview saying you could never be a traitor, but then you were telling her she should have chose you, so you be the traitor.
Well, he would have been. So in the spot where he's saying he wished she would have chosen him as a traitor was the traitor or die spot, right? That was the case. Right. And then the next day, Pete was voted out. So what he's saying is if Phaedra had chosen him as a traitor and then threw him under the bus the next day, he wouldn't have stayed long because he wouldn't have been able to play that way. She would have won the game because she would have given them the traitor that they were looking for and covered her own ass. Technically,
no, I know she would have won. I agree with him.
He's right. I think he was talking from a strategic end. He wasn't talking about he wanted to be a traitor. He did not want to play as a traitor. Okay. So what I'm saying is, in his head, he would have been kicked out. He would have been just as fine being kicked out the next day. Said he was a traitor and kept it moving. But he's saying he did not want to play the type of game that Sari played. And my whole thing is Sari won the game and you didn't.
Sure did. Sure did.
Yeah, I think he has an issue. Like I don't understand where the disconnect is in his mind. He has some sort of issue with like lying and being a traitor, but that is the game. Explain to me like what I wish I could understand like what his perception is of her game, because what
I
is
don't.
wrong with it? Like what do you find, what did you watch in her game and say I couldn't or I wouldn't want to play like that? What is the issue? Because then you just don't need to be on the show.
Right.
Exactly, because you try to
Yeah.
bring all of this morality into it as though you weren't misleading people and stuff on The Bachelor. Like people can dissect like they can dissect how you were The Bachelor and say their morality meter says that you were misleading and you were messing with two different people and the fantasy suite different. I mean, we could all be the morality police. I just don't like when people come on shows knowing that there has to be some deception, some slyness, some trickery, and then because they don't win or whatever, then it's like I could never be like that. Like Cody, like crying, I could just I couldn't do. Like, are you kidding me? Like, there's not deception in Big Brother. Like, people do things. You let people assume things about you. You mislead. You get in alliances. All of this stuff happens. So stop acting like you're so up here because you lose.
Yeah,
Right.
and
I
I
mean, even at that finale roundtable, who said, I don't remember who said, but someone said, well, you can lie in this game.
Right.
Like,
I think it
why
was
is that
Tate. I
news?
think it was
Why
Tate.
is that an announcement?
Right.
yeah. It's very, very annoying because you're just in. This is not the game for that. This is a game where people notoriously lie, deceive, trick
It's
to
called
get what they
traitor.
want. Right. And if you're unwilling, like I just like later, Phaedra talks about the fact that I'm sorry, this is way ahead, but she talks about the fact that when she went out, I mean, I think everybody can agree the episode that she went out, she didn't have much fight left in her. At
Right.
least she put it forth. And she said verbatim in the reunion show that everybody left at that point she liked. So
Yeah.
she would have been happy to see any of them win. And therefore, she was not willing to throw Kate under the bus. But she
Right.
wants to crucify those players like Dan who are willing to go for the jugular and throw whomever under the bus in order to get what they want. It's fine if you're like, okay, guys, I like you all, just go home. Dan's like, hell no, I'm gonna do what I need to do to try, or what I think I need to do
To do.
to
Yeah.
try to stay in the game. But he's the bad guy. Well, Phaedra, you're not willing. You can bow out gracefully, have at it, but
Right.
don't knock the ones that are not going to bow out gracefully. Gonna like you can debate whether that was the right move or not, but like
Right.
don't knock those people. All of a sudden,
And
those
I
are bad
mean,
people.
we even see it with Sandra. Like it worked. It 90% of it
Hmm.
to this end, in that she made friends with people that she thought were the traitors to
Right.
stay in the game because they were keeping people that they liked. So in this game, that worked because that is how they were playing.
Exactly.
But also, you can't crap on people for not playing that way.
Right.
Yeah, and
So
they
let's
didn't
start
even.
with the finale.
But they
So
didn't even. Did you notice they didn't even highlight that about Sandra's game? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
I
there was,
mean,
I just feel like they left so much out in favor of like suspense. I
yeah,
get it, I guess, but I want to see like people are not getting credit for gameplay that they
Right.
actually had.
yeah.
I'd rather see that. Find another way to make it suspenseful. I want to see what people are thinking, what and I guess it doesn't matter if they lose ultimately. Who cares what their
I think that's what a lot of it was. It's like, oh well, why highlight Sandra's game when ultimately it didn't fully go all the way? Um,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you highlight it because the next time when you have a new cast come on, it's like, oh, Sandra played like this, and so I want to build on that. So you want people to build on that to create, like Big Brother, to create
Right.
the perfect game, correct?
Yeah.
But that is doesn't seem to be what they're going for.
Yeah, they don't
They
care
don't
about
care.
yeah,
No.
they don't care about highlighting game. I mean, I find all of that interesting as a person that likes competition reality shows. The
Yeah.
games that they play, that's interest to me. Then this, I just wish that were a little bit more of the focus of the
Yeah,
edit of the show.
yeah, I
I
agree.
agree. I like to see how people's mind work. How they're thinking
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
their thoughts.
So yeah, so we do start off with Kate is the final traitor left after Phaedra is voted out. And Sandra does kind of confront her about like why is she saying what she said about Phaedra, and
Mm.
she's like, oh, I just felt like she was selfish. And Sandra, CT, Trishelle, none of them, none of them provided. They're all looking at her like, huh?
Mm.
Like what? Like where are you coming from with
Like
this?
that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
that was
so,
a mistake of hers. I don't know why all she had to do was say, Phaedra, I really didn't think it was you, but some conversations that I had today make me suspicious.
Right.
Going with the group here. Done. Like she didn't have to do all that extra stuff that made her look suspicious. I don't understand.
yeah. And so, they do disperse, and she does have to pick a final murder. What did we think about them murdering at this point?
Okay.
I thought
Who
she
they
was
murdered is
going
interesting,
to.
but not that they
I thought
murdered.
she was gonna murder Trishelle. Honestly, like before I saw the episode, I thought she was going to murder Trishelle, right? Because
Mhm,
I thought that she was going to be able to persuade Sheree and MJ to go
mhm,
her way, right? And then they could just get CT out, and then I that's what I thought. I
Mm.
thought like Sandra might, question her a little bit, but she could get
mhm,
Sheree and
mhm,
CT already was suspicious of Sandra. So I was like,
mhm,
she could probably persuade them to get Sandra
mhm.
out. Then next
Yep.
thing you know, they can get CT out. He the only guy. And then boom, 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 she get the money. That's what I thought. Because I thought Trishelle was the one that was going to be yapping. And I'm like, why hear her? Because she's going to be the one with the most objections and they could get you. That's what I thought. So I didn't think she was going to murder Sheree because I didn't think that suited her. But
Mhm.
I
I
heard
I
said
do. I was gonna say I do think it was a mistake potentially to murder Sheree here, but go ahead, Janelle.
I heard her reasoning, and the reasoning was sound. She said that she chose Sheree because she was hoping it would throw them off the Bravo thing, like the Bravo Alliance, the Bravo girl. She's like, she thought that they didn't think that she would murder Sheree as another Bravo girl and would go for like a Sandra, a Trishelle, or a CT because they're not Bravo. She was like, I was hoping that me murdering Sheree would make them think it wasn't me because I wouldn't murder Sheree
Hmm.
situation. So I was like, I guess I understand the thought process behind that, but hindsight's
But
20.
I also think in going to the end with Trishelle and CT, like getting Sandra out was smart. That was, I think, probably perfectly played.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but once she got Sandra out, it was clear. It was clear she was the traitor. It
right,
was, but because she had Trishelle and CT still in the game, whereas she could have maybe then coming around it been like, oh, it's either MJ or um CT, right? At the end, get one of them out, have Sheree um on her side,
right.
and take it to the end. So that I do think that's the only reason why I think getting Sheree out here was potentially a miscalculation.
Hmm.
That's it. Um, because I think it did become so clear that
Yeah.
she was the traitor. She was the traitor.
Yeah, I was amazed that she even got them to turn on Sandra at the
Oh,
round table because I
same.
thought everybody was clear on her, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, CT and Trishelle think they're trying to be strategic in this thing." They were clear on her, but they were like, "This is our chance to get Sandra." But not Trish. But I mean, CT. I felt like that was his reason. And Trishelle was shot. Like, wait a minute, I thought we just had a conversation
Right.
here.
She was mad. You could tell.
I know
CT
we just had a conversation in that little bar room. I know we just had a conversation. She looking like
CT, what I don't even feel like CT at this point was any every man for himself yet. It was just like, oh well, I gotta take out whoever I think could target me. Because I mean, fair, he was the last guy standing. Um, it just made everything a mess, because it was like there is no reasoning. Either just say, like, I think we've seen, like, even in Canada, it was like towards the end, they knew they were voting Donna out. They knew Donna was a faithful. They didn't want her ass in the end.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it was just like, Donna's stupid. We don't care. We don't want her in the end. We write her name on the
Donna
slate.
catching strays. Not Donna catching strays today.
Sorry. But we write her name on the slate today, regardless of whatever happens.
Because we just tired of Donna. They was tired of Donna. Okay. They was tired of Donna. I was tired of Donna.
That is strategic
Everybody was tired of
gameplay.
Donna.
Here, it was just like, well, I don't know. She said my name in a car somewhere, according to somebody.
Yeah,
And I think that's how some people were with Peter. Like, I don't think everybody thought Peter was a faithful. I think some people was just like, Peter, I'm sick of you. I'm just sick of you and your closed doors and your high and mighty. Just go home. I'm sick of you. Like,
yeah, I don't, like Sandra said it. They know everybody's not a traitor, but we still got to get some of these people out.
Right.
You got to go anyway. So.
And I just wish people would be okay and lean into that. It's okay if you just want to take whoever to the end, but also be open and honest about that. Like, I'm riding with my girl to the end, and be okay with the fact that somebody else might be riding with somebody else to the end, because that is where I feel like MJ messed up. And I understand she had that smoker. I thought I read that Sandra said that nobody was really paying attention to it. Did she mean the people in the alliance, or did she mean people outside of the alliance? That's why I was confused.
I don't know.
Okay. Nobody was paying attention to what?
The Smokers Alliance that they created.
I don't know if she meant the edit. I don't know.
Right.
I really don't know what she meant.
Because I did read, she said that, and I was confused that she said nobody was like really paying attention to it. So I was like, so was it a real alliance, or was it a fake shell alliance that you guys were using to keep people on? Because we know that Peter's pals were the dominant alliance at one point. Were you keeping those people as close to you as possible, but it had no intention of riding to the end with them? Right.
I wish they would say that. Like, I wish they would talk about, like, how you said they got to that round table and they're like, yeah, we're banishing Donna. I want to hear like people's plans for what they plan to do. I would love to hear that side of it. I would think, like, if it's a Smoker Alliance and they all got to the end, I would have loved to hear, like, I'm rocking with these people for these reasons, and our plans are, we hear about it in Big Brother, what their plans are when they get to the end is to do X, Y, Z. I would love to hear that. Sometimes the plans work and sometimes they don't, but at least I would love to hear the fourth, like, that people are thinking about that.
Correct. And they could put it in the post. They could put it in that post thing. Even if they couldn't put it in the full show, when they do the little post show that's only 10 minutes, they could make it a full hour and show us the behind the scenes, like thinking part, and we could have more insight. Like, why can't they do that? Like, on that show?
I don't know, because I stopped watching it. Every time I watched a few episodes, I was like, huh? Like, I'm like, so Dan had no real strategy. Phaedra had no real strategy. Why am I watching? I don't care if such and such is upset that they got kicked out. We saw that on the show.
Yes, it was nothing. It was like 10 minutes of nothing, child. It was 10 minutes of nothing. And they could have put all this other stuff that we talking about. They could have put that on there. It was. They could
have put Traitor reveals on there. Right. I would have rather seen that.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
It was weird. So, yeah, it was a lot of like, okay, is this gameplay, or y'all just taking whoever you? Which is also the reason why I need them to break up the people they're casting. Then you can't sit there and have 50 billion people from the same show, because then you're just going to have those 50 billion people. When you have people who do not know or understand gameplay, they're just going to roll with the people they know, like, and are adjacent to, and that's it.
Yeah,
and that's all, because that's the commonality. And I mean, later we do see Peppermint kind of talking about how biases play into it. But yeah, like that is a underlying bias. You're not going to trust somebody from a different show outside, regardless if you think, my girl Phaedra is probably a traitor. But that being said, I will trust her closer than I'll trust somebody on the outside of this.
Right.
So
I guess so. With the same network, I guess so. I
don't mind see, to me, Sandra and Parvati's dynamic was interesting. Like Dan and Janelle was, as long as it's not like 4 to 5 people, I'm
that's
fine.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm fine with like 1 or like 2, 3
Yeah.
max,
Yeah,
but
because even last season we had Cody and Rachel. They were both from the same season. Rachel clearly knew Cody was a traitor from the minute he was chosen. But
because
I feel
he was a horrible traitor.
correct.
Because he was and you know what I mean. Don't try to throw anybody else under the bus. You were a horrible traitor.
But we still got a good amount of gameplay drama between them. It wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna work with you, but I think you're a traitor. I'm not gonna out you, but I think you're a traitor. Right? And I don't have a problem with gameplay like that. I have a problem with it. It's just like, well, that's my girl, and I'm not like. It's one thing for like Sheree and Phaedra. I get it. They've been friends for 30 years. That like my best friend and I have been friends for about the same amount of time. It would be hard, absolutely hard for me, even knowing if that she was a traitor or not, for me not to take her to the end, right? So that I get. But then you have like this whole sect of people who are in very similar sections of gameplay that they just don't know anybody. They don't know how to play the game, and all they know is the people that they know.
Yeah.
Well, we had Bergie like that, right? He didn't really know how to play the game per se, and he didn't know people like that, but he also still became part of a clique. He was Peter's pal.
Yes.
So, I don't,
which I would have been fine with. I actually have no problem with how Bergie played, because I also don't feel like Bergie played with his nose in the air and morality police, right?
No, he didn't.
Right? So he played what I would hope somebody coming into the game would play. He faltered in the beginning, found his footing, rode that for a few weeks, got murdered. Happens, right? That's basically the downside to being a faithful. You can't control when you're getting murdered. Could he have been a little less vocal? Yes, but that was the line that he had to walk, being in Peter's house, right? He should have maybe pulled it back just a little bit and let Peter, be the vocal. But I think otherwise he played a pretty good, faithful game in that he knew what he needed to do. He did it. He found his way in. Because, he came in knowing nobody. He didn't even know Ekisu, and they're both from, the same series, just 2 different versions. And he was able to find himself in the majority because people respected his opinion and valued him as a player. That is not a bad game to play. It's not.
No, not at all.
So we do have the challenge. What did you guys think of the mission? Oh, and so at this point, the plan is to vote Kate. Going into the mission, they're all going to vote Kate at the next banishment.
Yeah.
So in the mission, it is they had to find paths to a boat, raise up flags for $50,000.
The timer is a lie. That's what I
big
think.
One.
The timer is a lie.
That lie, Miss TJoy. That's the biggest lie of the season is that damn clock. They can't even try. They don't even try to make it look real at all. It's always seconds. You mean to tell me they're doing this in 30 seconds?
Thank you.
It's terrible.
Come on now. Slow as she creeping down this. She's supposed to be going down the cliff. She And you mean to tell me, and y'all done gone on 3 different paths in a little tunnel and everything came out, and you mean to tell me y'all made it, and TT the only one trying to can have any weight to pull up the flag, y'all done all this with 2 flags. Be quiet, Alan. Be quiet. It's just ridiculous.
And I'm like, this challenge is a little much. Like, this ain't the challenge. I was
right.
like, if this is what you're gonna put forth as far as challenges go, you should probably cast a little more athletic people that can,
Yeah.
Like, they're doing a lot. That challenge was a lot.
That was a whole lot.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of it. I was like, they needed more people, not men. I'm not saying men. They needed more challenge people. It's just like a lot.
Maybe more athletic, agile people at this point. I mean, you never know what's going to wind up at the end of the game. You could cast that way, but I don't want to see them have to cast that way, So I think they need to cool it a teensy bit with the physicality of them, some of them anyway.
I agree. They struggled in the UK too. They do the same thing the UK do, and it's everybody's struggling on that on that last one like that. And I'm like, why are they doing this?
They gonna give them the money. That clock was non-existent. They
right.
They literally, they're like, just round up. Y'all have the money anyway.
Second, 90 seconds. I'm like, that 90 seconds was up when they was in the water, sir. Stop lying.
Or before. It's such a lie. I want to see the real clock.
And so they could take diversions along the path to find more flags to take to the boat with a possible extra $10,000. But they did not do that because staying on the path was hard enough. Again, terrain. Again, hard. So much so that I think at one point Trishelle and MJ was just like, "Yeah, we're out."
Yeah. Yep.
Bye. Oh no, it was Sandra. It was Sandra and they're like, "We did a lot here. Peace."
I'm done. Sandra and Kate was like, "Y'all can do what y'all want to do."
Yeah. They went back to the boat and waited. But they do collect all the main flags, and they raised the flag, and they received the whole $50,000, no extra. I will say, moving forward, I need a little more incentive on this money pot thing. I need more incentives, not easier, but simpler comps, and make it matter to both us, the viewer, and them, the rich people who are playing the show. And I know they're all not rich. But I'm saying a lot of them are wealthy enough.
Like, some of them housewives make how much an episode? $300,000-$400,000. What they care about? $250 to share. Do you know what I mean?
To share,
not pay, to share with other
people.
And
they paying them money to come on this show. You can't convince me they're not paying them.
Right. They have big, I'm sure they have big appearance fees, some of those people. So they're getting paid regardless. That's what I mean. What do they care about another $100K?
Yeah.
In their pocket that they got to pay taxes on?
Right. So make it more incentivized, less, like if you're going to do all celebrity, less shields. I need less shields.
Yes, less shields. It was a shield in every single. Remember the first year, it wasn't guaranteed.
First year wasn't that much
shield, and it was in that shield, and you had to go in the little vault thing, and everybody didn't know that, so that made it harder to know who to banish and stuff. It was real, layup type of season to me, like on that part. Like, you knew who had the shield, except for when Dan wanted to do what he wanted to do when they were trying to tell him be careful with the shield. Other than that, you always knew, like, basically, so that was weird.
So the pot stands at $208K to split, or in Kate's case, to keep. And so we do, after this, see Kate and CT riding back to the castle, having a conversation, and somehow Kate convinced CT she's a faithful, and that Sandra is after him, and she is the traitor. What?
let me tell you something. If I did not see CT do well on the math challenges and stuff and the challenge and stuff, I would be like, CT dumb. But CT really is not. You know, when they have on the challenge, when they have these challenges and math and puzzles in the middle of it, he actually, you know, does well. So I know he's not dumb. But I was like, that was not even a convincing conversation. How did she convince you in that car ride to vote Sandra? I was very confused. I was
think
very
it was
confused.
simply she's going to write your name down. Not necessarily that he thought Kate was faithful. This the potential that Sandra was after him. That's what he seemed to spook him to me. But still, everybody had already agreed on Kate. So what's it matter? Sandra's one
But
win.
she didn't throw that in there. She didn't throw that in there until remember Sandra came in the room. She didn't say anything about Sandra was gonna write his name down, right? So the other time when they was eating, right?
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay.
In the car, he was the one that was like, I think you a traitor. Remember, he was like that, and then she was
They
like,
put her on the spot. Are you a traitor?
me?
He said. She's like,
He
what?
was like me. She was like me. No, why would you say that? Why would you say that? Where you get that from? And in 5 minutes, she was like, "It's Sandra." He was like, "Oh, okay."
I think
So that,
the comment said CT just wanted less faithfuls at the end, more money for Kate. Yeah, that could be it.
I mean,
That
it
could
could be it. I did not. Again, it might have been them taking his gameplay out of it. I was not seeing that. I was literally. My whole thing is say that. Like there was a point where he said the only person I trust to take to the end was Trishelle. I needed him to say that at the round table.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I needed him to say, "Listen, Sandra, we've been working together, but I can't trust that you are faithful fully. I know it sucks, but I feel like we've seen this before. I feel like here we just have to vote you out. You said my name. Anyway, we'll get there. But so then the funny part is CT goes back to the castle, tells Sandra she's Kate's target. Kate and Sandra sit down and chat, and then somehow Kate convinces her that CT's the one that Sandra was the target. It was the weird. I was like,
It was
God,
so weird.
Kate's not that good. Kate's not that good.
She's not that good. She is not that. She does not even put in enough effort to be that good.
But it
Like
Miss TJoy, it worked. Whatever she did worked. She
It
said
worked.
something to
I
CT.
will
She said something to
hand
Sandra.
clap Kate for one of the best game moves I'd seen all season from a trader, because I was like,
Yeah, she made it work.
she made it work.
Made it work.
And
That
so
was MJ's downfall too.
it
Like,
was. It was,
it was
and
like,
we're gonna
you
get
should
to
have
it.
never let Sandra go. You should have, because the ending could have been different for her had she kept
exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna
Exactly.
get to it when we get to the round table. Because I really want to talk about that strategically. So yeah, they go back and forth, and Kate and CT talk again, and basically she's turned you could tell she's turned CT, and it's like, and Sandra's like I don't know what just happened here, but I'm gonna just go to the table and fight for my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we do see at the round table, they basically have just a conversation of, well, Sandra, we think you're the traitor all of a sudden. And she's like, but I don't understand. Coming into this, Kate, we all agreed with the plan. Oh, well, Kate said in the car, you said my name. And she's like, but I didn't. She told me that you said my name.
So
He's like, but I didn't. That's a lie. And that's when the comment, oh, well, you can lie in this game. I'm like, exactly. So Kate is lying. Y'all all see it. Vote her out.
Kate said, like, because she was the one lying. You can't lie. I know you can't, because you're the one lying. But I didn't get why. Okay, so is this a thing where I'm not, we don't know, but producers or whatever are keeping them apart? Because why didn't, at that point, right? Why didn't CT go back and talk to Trishelle and say, listen, even if he believed it, why didn't he go talk and say, listen, this is what Kate told me? And then
Yes.
why didn't Sandra go talk to MJ and say, listen, this is, or Trishelle, like, listen, I just got finished talking and Kate trying to throw me under. It's like neither one of them went back and said anything. They just kind of
Went
took
with
that
it.
conversation, let
Right.
it fester, and then went to the round table. Or is the producers keeping them apart or saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm just like, why wouldn't you go back and talk and say, make sure you got your army behind you when you go to the round table? Like, if I was Sandra, I would be going to MJ like, MJ, listen, they gonna get in there and they're gonna try to frame me. You gotta stick with me, you know what I mean? And then I would try to go talk to Trishelle. Listen, Trishelle, I'm not, this is what they're trying to do. Because
Right.
she knew they had already all decided on Kate. So the
Yeah.
plan is now changing. So why not go to the people, back to the people who already agree with you? I didn't get that. That's what I didn't get.
Yeah.
I was very confused.
That's
Yeah,
why I
Miss
said this
Season.
end part was messy, because I'm like, none of it made not just strategic sense, but it didn't make sense as a whole. If you're saying you guys had an alliance coming into
Right.
this round table, a real alliance, unless it was a fake alliance that none of y'all actually believed in. Because why didn't you guys, as an alliance, have a conversation and say, listen, Kate is coming after me and CT, trying to pit us against each other. We have to at least vote her out and go from there.
Yeah. I think that shoot, what was I gonna say? I think that if Sandra had been able to get to MJ, Trishelle already wanted to vote Kate and was
Right.
annoyed at not voting Kate. So a simple conversation with MJ and
Mm-hmm.
Trishelle, they would have been
Exactly.
majority. They didn't even need CT. CT still could have voted for Sandra, and they would have been fine. So I don't understand either
Exactly.
T-Joy of why these conversations aren't happening, or if they don't have the opportunity. But you can still say it there. Like, look,
Right.
Jay, I've been rocking with you. Trishelle, this is the conversation that we had. I'm
Right.
confident. But what would have happened if they would have banished Kate right there? Game's over, they win?
Yes. Well, I mean, they would have went to the fire and they would have had to again. It would have been the same thing.
Same.
It would
Okay.
have
They
been the
would
same
have
thing.
had to decided whether they, and again, MJ could have gotten rid of Sandra right then and there at the fire, but then she would have been stupid again, because again, the only thing that was keeping Trishelle and CT from taking the whole pot from her was Sandra.
Mhm.
So at that point, they could have banished one. Like it would have been split again.
Mm-hmm.
So if they had really been a true alliance, and MJ and Sandra had stuck together,
Right.
Michelle and CT had stuck together, it would have been a stalemate again. And then they either had to agree to banish
Banish
somebody,
one person.
but
And
but
But
they could have
she
Trishelle
probably
wouldn't
voted
have stood with
Trishelle.
CT. But listen, Trishelle would not have stood with CT,
She wouldn't
because
have.
even though Sandra wouldn't have gotten banished, because it would have been 3-2 to banish
Mhm,
Kate.
mhm,
Trishelle in her mind still would have thought that maybe CT was a traitor, because she would have been like, why he switch it up? So they
yes,
might so CT might would have been voted out at the fire. The first one voted out at the fire
Mhm.
versus, you know what I mean, if they would have done it that way, because
And
Trishelle
then
would have been like,
MJ,
why he switch up the game? Like he must
right,
be a
right,
traitor or
right,
something.
right.
and then
So
Sandra
so
and
that's what I'm saying.
MJ,
Go ahead, go
Sandra,
ahead.
Sandra and MJ then could have taken the money from Trishelle if they wanted to,
Exactly.
and won
Exactly.
the game.
Exactly. So we do see here. Listen, Sandra put up a good fight.
He
The
did.
queen was queening. She did what Sandra knows how to do, because I've
Mhm.
seen her do it, which is talk about why the other person needs to go and why she needs to stay,
Right.
or why the other person is the non-winner and why she's the winner.
Right.
And she was right, and even down to the look at how she's dressed. She's just like and I love it. I love her. She's so funny. But at the end of the day, CT had his mind made up. Trishelle did not want to go against the majority, and NJ silly got
She has
convinced.
no freaking clue what is going on.
And even Dabu says it here. MJ had no clue. She lucked out with the Bravo heavy cast. She was wrong at every banishment. And this right here was her worst move. Voting Sandra out right here lost her the game.
Yeah.
Lost her the game. She was the only person keeping her from being steamrolled by a Tricelle CT final two.
Yep.
Listen, and the steamroll was an accident. Like, let's be real.
It was an accident. But even if they had tried to do it
purposely.
on purpose,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the only person who would have stood in their way with her was Sandra.
Right. Yep. That was her fatal flaw, but I don't think she was thinking in that way. You know, she was thinking, "Oh, we did it! Yay!" No,
No.
these ain't those type of people, MJ.
Debu says if they banished Kate, would have been CT Trishelle versus Sandra MJ, and at that point they split it 4 ways. Makes no sense. Sandra had to go. But
I don't think so.
Don't make sense for MJ. We're talking about MJ needed Sandra in order to have a chance at winning.
Right.
Because clearly they could have convinced Trishelle to vote CT. When they were all talking, I'm like, MJ, say something. All MJ said was, I'm faithful. They don't care about that, MJ. MJ needed to be saying, Trishelle, you're right to suspect CT, blah, 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 and get in Trishelle's head. And then
exactly
her to vote CT. But MJ's like, I'm faithful. Girl.
And then voted Trishelle a second time, even though it just the she don't have it all.
MJ just does. She doesn't like. I bet you she could watch and then they maybe like learn some lessons. But she needed Sandra and to have sort of strategic play workout because Sandra would have been like, Trishelle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trishelle because she was obviously already doubting. That's why she made the move she made. Because I was shocked when that vote came out after Kate.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Because I fully expected that to be their plan. Like in my mind, they went in there planning to steal all the money for themselves. But nope, they did not.
Nope. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And so Sandra does proclaim herself a faithful. Kate at this point is like, wow, I didn't even have to do anything.
Kate,
like, that's how I felt.
Thank goodness Kate ain't have to do nothing because she don't know nothing to do. Because she looked up between her and MJ. One a faithful don't know what to do, and one a traitor and don't know what to do.
Right. So they do go to Fire of Truth, the final fire with the final 4. And they sit down with Alan one by one and discuss what they their plan is going in. And so at this point, again, it was very clear there was at least one traitor left, and that at least one of those traitors were Kate, with Sandra going out. So we do see that everybody but Kate, another clear indication, chose to banish again. Kate's like, well, yes, I chose green because I believe we're all faithful. I was like, good try, girl. Good try. And so everybody writes down that with Sheree being, MJ just say, with Sheree being murdered, there had to be somebody who murdered her. And since Sandra was not the traitor, she feels it is Kate. So all 3 of them write down Kate's name. I forget who Kate wrote down. Trishelle?
I don't know. I forgot.
I don't remember. And so she does exclaim that she is a traitor after some minor maneuvering to throw them off. And she basically seemed happy because she thought they were all gonna go split the money after she left. But child, how wrong you are. So with the 3 faithfuls remaining, you would think, hey, we did
MJ all happy. Woo, woo, yay,
MJ thinks that this is it. Except
yay.
MJ chooses green, and CT and Trishelle both choose to banish again.
Let me do the MJ
And
thing.
she is shocked. She is shocked. Shocked. It was actually very funny. It was actually very funny watching her
I was
face.
like, girl, you got to the end with some gamers. Like, what you
Right.
Like, you don't want to. But it seems like at least Trishelle truly believed that CT was a traitor.
Yes.
And CT,
Because they couldn't have planned that. They couldn't have planned that because she's a variable. You don't know which way she gonna go. If even if they said, I'm gonna write your name, you write my name, you still don't know whose name she gonna write, so one person could get voted out. So I really do think that Trishelle thought he was a traitor at that point.
No, she absolutely did. That's what
She did.
like I was just like I said, under the assumption that those two were in cahoots. And they're like, look, we're gonna kick MJ out, faithful or not. Like, she got to go, and then we're gonna sell to the end with all the money. I was so shocked when she voted CT. I'm like, Trishelle, what you do? Because I was under the impression that she trusted him. So I was shocked. And I wish that they had let us in on her suspicions. Like,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
why can't we know that? Like, why can't we know that she's not secure? CT's securing her. He's talking about her sister. Like, I would never vote her. And then Trishelle's like, I don't know. Like, why couldn't we have seen that? And I think that would have built up the suspense. Hearing that all of her suspicions along the way and her teetering on CT would have just like built up the suspicion. It wouldn't have ruined the surprise because we're gonna be like, oh, what's Trishelle gonna do here? I just hate the way that they
eroded it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it could be so much better.
So MJ says, "Oh my God, what the fuck?" And I was just like, "Girl, you about to?" I was with you. I thought this was so on purpose. And then Trishelle voted for CT, and I was like, "I'm sorry."
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
And Debu says it was at that moment she knew she fucked it for real. And Debu says, but even then, NJ didn't vote CT the second time.
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Even though
why was she voting Trishelle?
Exactly. It's because MJ doesn't understand what's going on here. That's what I'm saying. And he ain't got a nerve to be mad at the reunion. You don't even know what's going on, man.
And so she messed up the first time. Because to me, the correct move here would have been to vote out CT. Listen, girls to the end. Vote CT.
Right.
Regardless of what Trishelle did, the correct way to do it should have been to vote CT.
CT. Exactly.
Instead, she votes Trishelle. Trishelle votes CT. And CT votes MJ. And they've got to do it again. So the second time, instead of her trying to align with somebody, she votes Trishelle again.
I don't know why she didn't open up her mouth. Like,
she did. She said, "I'm a faithful."
No, they don't care.
It.
That's it.
CT over there fighting for his life, trying to convince Trishelle, I ain't betray you. What are you talking about? It's me and you. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Whatever. He over there fighting, and she's still just looking dumbfounded, talking about, I'm a faithful. You got to come with more than that. More than that.
Because there's only one person who voted for you, and and he's just telling you he's going to ride with her to the end. So all you needed to do, she already voted for him, and say, "Girl, I agree with you. He changed his vote at the end. We both know we're both faithfuls. Let us write his name down because obviously he's trying to pull something over both of us and write his name down."
Right. Exactly. If she could have put in work in that moment, I think it was possible to sway Trishelle. But he was the one having a conversation with her.
Exactly.
About, Trishelle, I'm faithful. Like, he convinced Trishelle to vote with him against MJ.
Mm-hmm.
MJ really, like, I don't know. I'm not too hard on her because she don't know what she's doing.
Right.
She just
I will be hard on her in a few minutes, but but again, misplay.
Yes.
And so MJ at this point, CT again writes her name down, and Trishelle at this point was like, "Oh, it was so hard for me to write his name down the first time. I'm not going to do it again." So she does write MJ's name down. Somebody got to go, she says, and so they do banish MJ. MJ is pissed.
Yes.
And so Alan comes and they must reveal their status to each other. And CT goes first, and he is I am a faithful. And Trishelle goes second, and she is a faithful, which we all knew. And they split the pot of $208,000. I think it was $208,100. So they each get $104.50 and to individually win. So CT and Trishelle have won this game. And so we do go into the reunion. And at the reunion, everyone is there but the final four and Max. If you did not know, Max is currently recording So You Think You Can Dance as a judge. So he could not make it for the reunion. He's contractually obligated to Fox at this point. And I also think he was doing live tapings on location at that point as well. And so they all listen. Everyone looked amazing at the finale. I will say that. They pulled out some costumes. I think that was one of the best things about this season, not having civilians. I don't know who the costumers or who sent who these gowns and suits and whatever, but everybody looked amazing. To me, that was basically definitely worth watching this season. I looked at everybody dressed to the nines. And apparently, which I don't know if this is very true, they didn't know who won. They didn't know how it played out.
Right.
And they watched it live at the reunion. And
I like that.
I did too. If that's really how it played out. And nobody leaked actually what happened. And just they are shocked. You see their faces like what?
Right.
And so I did like those little captures that we got of them watching the reunion and just shocked at how it was played out. And they do see that CT and Trishelle win. Which Bananas, if you don't remember who Bananas was, he was the first faithful voted out by Bananas. And so
he was murdered. He wasn't voted out.
Oh, sorry, yes, murdered. And he was in an alliance with CT and Trishelle from the beginning. And so Andy, who is host at Bravo's Andy Cohen, is hosting a reunion. If you did not know, just like he did last year, he points out Bananas, that is the alliance you had in the beginning. Are you happy that they got to the end? And he's like, yeah, I knew that we could get to the end. Unfortunately, I was murdered before that could happen.
See, and he's still mad at Dan about that. He's still mad about that.
Yes.
He's only been on 97 reality shows. He needs
exactly. And 87 of them was on just last year. Can we not?
Right.
I watched this man a little bit on what was it, USA
House of Villains,
and then House of Villains. I was like, and then he was on Traitors, and I was like, oh, he got murdered first. Oh, thank God, because I don't need to see him again.
Yeah.
So we do see that, and they notice MJ is pissed. Phaedra is she's sad because she did think she deserved to win, but John says she doesn't have a right to be pissed. And this began, and even though I agreed with him, John annoyed me. Why do the editors and John think we like to hear John speak so much?
We don't want to.
He was on a tangent and would go for 45 minutes. I'm like, 45 minutes? Yeah, he was on one. Yeah, I agreed with him, but I don't know. I'm like half and half. Because CT made a great point when he said he said to MJ, "I'm sorry, MJ, if I seem insensitive. Sometimes I forget. I've been doing this for the last 20 years." And some of these people haven't. It's their first experience with the game, like because I don't think it's about the money for MJ because she don't need it, from what I
No,
understand.
she don't. No,
She
she
don't
don't need
like
it.
so she's just mad that she got snookered out of the win. Do you know? Like,
Yeah,
Yes.
she feels
so,
betrayed, and it's like I don't know why. I mean, even though you like these people, you really haven't known these people, but the amount of time you've been, you ain't
2
know
weeks.
Trishelle or
2 weeks.
CT. So why do you feel like they owe you? You know what I mean? It's just a thing. It's just a thing.
Two
Yeah,
It's like,
weeks. 2 weeks.
yeah,
That's it.
that's
oh,
what I
2 weeks. They're
mean.
only there 2 weeks.
They're only
Yeah,
there like 2.5 weeks. Yes.
like come on. That's why I try to be like sensitive because it's not like somebody's missing out on a life changing amount of money. Like you know what I mean? It's not like nothing like that. But like, come on, MJ. I don't know. I was like,
Your whole reality show was about the fact that all of the people on their families had money. That was the whole point. So you
No,
not
you never seen Shaw's of Sunset, Janelle?
I don't even know
Yeah,
what's it about.
that literally, and they did the same thing kind of with the. I don't know if Kevin was on the same show, right? Like, the Asian version,
Bling Empire, yeah.
Bling Empire. Okay, so both of those shows are about basically the elite of elite. Like, they're all like Persian, have like all this,
Money.
Middle Eastern, have all this money. Like, you see my
And then
background. This
what?
is
We just
this is
watching people have money and live their lives.
Yeah.
correct. And
Oh,
so Bling Empire was the Asian version. So
Of
they're
that.
all Asian and they have they travel around the world. They live in mansions. Blah, 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 blah. New York to London to
well,
LA
I don't
to
want to
whatever.
watch that.
Oh, because it was
Exactly.
fun.
Oh,
I mean, it was good to watch because you were watching another culture, but it's not even on Bravo anymore. It got canceled.
Yeah.
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 oh,
So both shows got canceled. But
Right. So
it
it was
was
just
fun to watch. I'm not
right.
listen. Then it was Shaw's of Sunset was fun to watch until they started like going after each other. Then I was like,
In an
ooh,
evil way. It's one
in an
thing like
evil way. Yeah.
just shade, but they were
Yeah,
starting
yeah,
to
yeah.
it was
like
starting to get
what?
That
real
was
bad.
their downfall. That was
Yeah.
their downfall.
Why are they going
Uh,
after each other? In what way?
it was
Did you
just
watch the
I'm
first
sorry.
season? Did you
We
watch the
could
first season of the US Traders, Janelle?
about half.
Because RZA was
the first
from
person voted
Shaw's the
out
first
that
person
season
murdered on the
Mhm.
first season
of
on
murder.
Johnny
That's right.
Bananas. That he was from Shaw's the Sunset too. So we see they have a formula of like they got to get one Shaw's. It's probably gonna be what's her name next, Gigi next, or
Oh
it's like they got to get somebody from Shaw's or Mike. It's gonna be Gigi or Mike.
yeah. And so like they would have, but same thing on Bing Empire. They would like between the shows they would have falling outs that they then
Mhm.
would bring to the show. But these people are like have money,
Yeah,
so they will like turning people against each other is different in those.
yeah.
It got bad,
Because then
and
the parents would get into it. Because
yes,
it was like all the families knew each other. So then the
yes,
mamas beefing now because it started getting bad. Like it was just starting
yeah,
to get
it was
bad.
starting to get nasty. It's Deborah had to point this out. Deborah said CT and Trisha having a whole ass conversation, and MJ just
Exactly.
She
I'm a
didn't.
faithful.
She did
She
not
just
help
I'm
her.
a faithful and just stares. Like she says nothing.
oh my god. So yeah, so at this point, CT they do bring up CT and Phaedra's relationship, and they do say that they think that they bonded. She called him apparently Castle Daddy because he was the last man standing, and he said he wouldn't have lasted as long if not for Phaedra, which again, yeah, because Phaedra said she kept the people in there that she liked.
Yep.
So then they talk about Pilot Pete and Ekinsu, because if you have been paying attention, Ekinsu and Pilot Pete had been hanging out in LA. She even went to lunch with his mom Barb.
And his
So
sister, right? Wasn't that his mama and
yeah,
his sister?
which we all know if you're a Bachelor fan, that's a big deal.
Because Peter mama always be in the
She
business. She
just
be in the business.
She just got booted off of Celebrity BB UK or
Wait, she
something.
got booted?
Yep.
Spoiler,
I
guys.
haven't been
Sorry.
Sorry.
watching.
Really, I just announced that. Yeah, she
Yeah,
got booted.
because
She was watching something.
the last I saw, they were voting, so
Yeah.
I didn't know she got voted off.
Mhm.
So, but yes, sorry guys, that was a spoiler. If you're a celebrity, I do have some UK fans.
Sorry. And I sorry guys.
um, So they say they're just friends. Then we get to Bananas. Bananas is still salty that he got voted out, and John tries to smooth it. Got voted out first. John tries to smooth it over. Oh, but you don't understand. It's because you you were a strong guy, and then you were smart, and I was like, we don't care.
Yeah.
He,
And
like
I'm
And
convinced
John, what do
John.
you know? You wasn't a trader. What you don't even know his thought process. Why are you speaking? Just be quiet. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why people tired of your mouth because you're speaking on something that you don't even know about. You wasn't a trader. You don't even know Dan's thought process. So why are you speaking? That's between him and Dan.
right.
Like,
Yeah, Johnny was being real he went too far online if you ask me. And Dan's never gonna respond. He didn't respond to any of it. He did and then that made see I heard him in an interview that made Johnny mad that he was coming at Dan and Dan wasn't like giving it that's that challenge mentality. But Dan said absolutely nothing in response. You can go ahead and be mad, sir. I know you're great at these games. I know you have influence. I know people listen to you. You had to go. Like it's as simple as that. Like Johnny
point
He
blank
didn't
and
even say
simple.
anything on the show. It was all
Right,
everybody else talking.
hmm Like, Johnny, you are who you are. Your reputation precedes you. Like, they're gonna get you.
right.
So they do talk about Parvati's facial maneuvering during the show, which was
Listen,
funny.
if you follow her, she makes fun of herself. She shares all the tea or all not the tea, but all the shade and people like wearing headbands and copying her face is all over her Instagram stories of her laughing at herself. So I at least like that she's poking fun at herself with the rest of the world. She's like, I didn't know I did that. I had no idea that I made such intense faces. And she's like, I asked my partner, do I do that all the time? And they're like, no. So she's like, yeah, I had no idea that I did that at all,
Yeah.
which is funny.
Um, they do ask Kate why she came back, and she says that she came back because she had a baby at home. Now, did we know that she had a baby? I didn't remember hearing
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
It's
I
a
follow her.
newborn
I knew she had gotten pregnant and had a baby. Yeah.
between these last two seasons.
Uh huh.
Oh,
Hmm.
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, they're only there for 2 weeks, so yeah,
True.
that makes sense.
And I think and I think another reason why she might have been I don't know why they brought her in late, but her baby was probably like a, at the time probably like five or 6 months old
Oh, for
because
real?
like yeah, because her baby still isn't a year old or what like he still isn't a year old.
And
Yeah,
yeah, they if they brought her in halfway, she could have been gone for like a week total. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
That's probably also missed. You're right, Miss TJoy. Maybe they were like, oh, the only way she would do it is if like, look, I'm not going. That's a shame. Parvati. Let me just mention this. She played season 40 of Winners at War when her baby was like 5 or 6 months. So she was gone for like good 40, 50 days when she had her baby. Yeah, she said all she did was cry on that island. But yeah, she stopped nursing and went and played Survivor when her baby was like 5 months old. I don't know if I could do that.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, I remember going back to work when my youngest was like, they made me come right back to work, and in fact, because they screwed me on my maternity leave, made me come back too early. They ended up having to pay me extra money at like a few months later, but they made me come
Mm.
back early. I was there pumping in an office
Are you
because,
Yeah,
and
she
I
couldn't
just
even.
remember crying.
Yeah, she couldn't even pump. She had to quit because you can't pump
Yeah,
on Survivor.
dang?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you can't. There's zero contact with your child. She said all she did was cry. She's like that
yeah.
was for
I'm
sure.
sure. Did she win that season?
No, She
Dang.
won like season 16, and this was like season 40. She got unfortunately swapped to a tribe that had like a whole pregame alliance. She had no chance in that season when she got swapped.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
So Debu says no more bringing people back. Kate didn't do it for me like season one, more chaotic than. This is the thing. Kate didn't do it for me in season one.
I mean,
And
she
so
was comic relief, but that was it. It wasn't enough for her to come back another season. It was just
yeah,
because that's just what she brought to the table. I hope they don't bring people back, but word on the street is they already trying to campaign for Johnny Bananas to come back. You know what I mean? So I
yeah,
mean, I don't want
definitely
them
not
to bring
bananas.
people back, but
Definitely not bananas. And if anybody should come back, it should be Peppermint of all people. Uh,
I I don't want them to bring back people in the middle like that anymore. I don't like that.
no,
I didn't
me
like that
like
at
either. Be
all.
come back in the beginning, right?
Right.
I mean, like I said, I think I said a couple weeks ago, that in the UK they did bring back two people mid-season, but they did start off and then they kicked them out and then brought them back, and one did make it to the end. So, um, yeah, like I hate the mid-season bring back, but make it make sense, not just
Yeah.
somebody's just arrived to come back to the game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we do see that Peppermint does talk about being very disappointed to be thrown out due to it in what she has to say is perceived biases. And I think I mentioned it earlier. I do feel like it was more bias than reason for her removal, right? Like her banishment. And they just intent, because what was being said made, I at the time I think I said it made no sense what they were trying to say. Oh, Trishelle said that if I die, Peppermint has to be the traitor because she didn't like what I was wearing, or she thought I dressed better than her. And then she doesn't die, and yet Peppermint's still the traitor. That it made no sense. No sense, no conceivable sense. And I don't feel like Trishelle took any kind of ownership for what she did, but B, that anybody is really understanding why Peppermint is saying that it was bias, because we have John sitting there. Well, I think at the time we did believe that you were the traitor. Oh, Jabu said Kate was pregnant at the reunion last season. I did not even realize that. Maybe because they were all sitting down. I didn't even notice. Um, and so I just feel like it is a cop out that they're just not aligning with the fact that more than likely their bias was the reason why they went after Peppermint. So personally, if they're going to bring somebody back, I would prefer it be Peppermint.
I have an unpopular opinion because I don't agree. Not that she shouldn't come back, but I think from some other things that I heard, I think that if Peppermint had handled a few things differently, it might not have happened. Because she slipped up and said that she was a traitor by mistake, and I heard that she was going all around the castle talking about how she knew all these people from what shows and blah 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 blah. I just heard a lot of other things that I think played into the decision of her being banned.
Well, she did say here she had studied every trader show that was out at that point.
I think she was saying that in the castle too. That's what
Yes,
I heard.
and but Trishelle said that, but also there was a lot of people who said that openly, and so again, what makes it different that she's saying that versus somebody else, because she has no ties to anybody else in the castle. I mean,
I just don't think they should bring anybody back, actually.
Or that, Miss TJoy. Or that. It is what it is.
Yeah, because then people are gonna be like, "Why'd you bring this person back and not that person?" I feel like they should just make a fresh, start and stop doing that.
they should.
That's just what I think.
Kate back. Then they shouldn't have brought Kate back because all it did is good. again,
I agree with that too.
Yeah, I agree too.
it's
Like,
just
I don't like that she came back mid-season. Just make it fresh cast, new each and every time. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to see the same. This is not a game that I want to see people get a second shot. These are celebrities that have a lot
yeah.
of money, for the most part, that are comfortable at least, from my knowledge.
so well, yeah. I mean, if it's Bravo heavy, yes. Yeah. If the
Yeah.
And it's gonna
gamers,
be just because Traitors is on the Peacock network, all of them under Bravo. It's gonna be Bravo heavy. I'm gonna just say that it's gonna be some
You
people
think?
from Bravo. It might not be as many people next season, but it's still
Mm.
gonna
I
be at
hope
least
it's
four
not as
people from
many.
Bravo. I'm telling you.
I hope it's not as many because it was quite annoying. They do
How many
show
do
a
we have? Like
montage of,
five?
huh?
We have like
Hmm?
5 people from Bravo.
No, Larsa, Marcus,
Mhm.
um, Tamra, Phaedra, Sheree, um, Kate,
MJ.
MJ. I'm missing two.
Mm.
Who else was on this cast?
Did you say Tamra?
I did say
Yeah, she said
Tamra.
him.
I don't know.
I
7,
thought
that's
it was
still
just.
a lot
I
though.
thought it
I
was
I
just
didn't even
them.
know that. I thought it was around 5. That's
Yeah.
still a lot
It was
though.
7.
So
Yeah,
at least seven.
right. That's a
That,
lot. I
that
didn't realize.
that's a lot.
It is. I agree with you. They don't need to have that many people.
No, I don't even think they had that many people last season because last season it was Kate, Jax. Was Jax on there? Yeah, no, not Jax. The other guy from what's his name
It was
from
Kate Brandy. It was Kate
Brandy,
Brandy.
um, Reza,
Reza.
that other guy from Below Deck. Oh God, what is his name?
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. See, I don't even
Oh
connect
yeah.
necessarily the show with the network
And
either.
so it was him, and then one other person, that other girl with the blonde hair. Because Stephanie, wasn't she on Bravo something, or was she Survivor?
No, Stephanie
Survivor.
had done
Stephanie
Survivor, like
Survivor.
Suri. Yeah, Stephanie.
I think it's
Yeah,
easier if
she
I
played on. She played Survivor 3 times, Stephanie. But I'm not a fan of her.
Hmm.
She good on there?
Um. So yeah, so
Yeah,
it
her.
was.
She
It
was good.
wasn't as many. It wasn't as many last season as it was this season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't that many last season. Definitely not. But yes, I just feel like it stalled a lot of the gameplay this season because it was so Bravo heavy.
Mm.
And then they get mad because you're like pointing out you guys have a built-in um alliance
Right.
and you're getting upset because you have a built-in alliance and you guys play things up, but hello, that is literally what you guys do. Like it was
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it was Kate.
Mm-hmm. I think they should have somebody like Nicole. What is her name? Shirt skin. How you say her
Scherzinger?
last name?
Scherzinger
Yeah,
from
like
Pussycat Dolls?
from Mass Singer, yeah, from Pussycat Dolls, Mass Singer, like, because that's a reality show, like a judge, like, mix it up. Where Jenny McCarthy, she's supposed to be so good at like trying to figure stuff out, like she's always trying to figure out the celebrities on Mass Singer, like maybe she can figure out the traitor, you know what I mean? That aspect, um,
Do you,
just
Miss
to because
TJoy, did
that's a
you watch The
reality
Real
show,
World?
huh?
Did you watch The Real World?
Yeah, I used to love the Real
There
World.
is a woman from the real world New Orleans, and they did a reboot of the New Orleans, like, what is that? The Homecoming. Do you know what I'm talking about? But they
Uh-huh.
bring the real world. Her name is Melissa Beck or Melissa Howard. When she's like a Latino and Black personality, she's freaking hilarious. She would bring such great energy to Traders. I want her so bad. Filipino Black woman on New Orleans of Real World. They
You
just
probably, if you see her face, I'll look for it, but you probably know who she's talking about, Miss CJ.
Because
I love
I did
it.
hear they were doing a remake of that Real World New Orleans, and I just didn't watch it. But I was
Me neither,
like,
but it was. I mean, I did. I watched some of it. It was really, really good. And that season, I believe, is currently on Netflix. She's a freak. She's hilarious. She would be so funny. So so
Yeah,
funny.
I said I would love for them to bring Coral on from the real world. That is
oh
Melissa.
yes, oh yeah, she is funny.
She's so funny.
Yeah,
Um,
Coral, I would die if they brought Coral
I
back.
did the
I
same
loved
thing.
Coral.
I said the
I
same thing. If
loved
they bring
Coral.
Coral on, I would die. Die, like
Let me
literally.
tell you
I
something. And what
love
if they
Coral.
brought Coral back, and not only brought Coral back, right?
Mike,
The WWE would have to
Mike,
approve this. It would only be 10 days. The Miz,
Mike.
like with Coral, like the WWE would definitely do this because they like any kind of advertising, right?
True.
They would let him go for 10 days.
Coral
They
and
would
Mike.
let him do it. That would be amazing. That
Hmm.
would
That
be
is a hell of a
amazing to
That's
have
a
two.
hell of a reunion right there.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's
They
and
used to
that's
this,
be thick as
old school.
thieves. They used to be thick as thieves. I used to love. She would get the cussing. She would have that hair straight
I
back and
thought she was
that
so
struggling
mean.
ponytail doing them challenges, and then get the cussing. And then the Miz would have to calm her down. And he, we knew back then because he was like, I want to be a professional wrestler. And then
Mhm.
because I watched wrestling to see him make it, I was like, oh my gosh, I remember him just being on the show saying he wanted
so
to do
if
this.
you don't know who Coral is, this is Coral. She was on the Real
Yes.
World New York 2 with with the Miz. He is on currently on the WWE. He was I back then that was what he said he was going to do. He had actually did it. He does also have a reality TV show with
TV show,
his
him and his
wife,
wife and
and
kids.
in the same, it's in the USA Family because it's, I
Yep.
think it's on, they stream it on Peacock. So I
Yep.
agree. I would love to see those little ties that are outside of Bravo come on this show, and we know those people
And
will
that would
bring
be another like CT
For sure.
Trishelle because they fell out. Remember, they
yeah,
fell out.
yeah,
And
yeah.
this would be like, I don't know if they still talk. Because I remember distinctly somebody asked him probably about 3 years ago. He was doing an interview. And usually it's all WWE stuff. But this person from E, and they were like, I go back way back and I want to know, have you talked to Coral? And he was like, no, I have not talked to her. So he didn't make it seem like it was any bad blood. He just said, I haven't talked to her. So what if
I
it
think
was just
she
like a reunion, like they
I
just
think she has kind of, I remember because she was doing the challenge. She stopped doing the challenge. I think she had a baby, and then I know she seemed to have exited the reality TV space. So I don't know if there's she seems to have like just kind of cordoned herself off. I don't know if there's necessarily any bad blood between her and anybody. Um
They asked her. I heard they asked her to do All Stars because they brought back so many old people on MTV All Stars, but I don't think she
what,
was.
40?
No, 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 not this current season. The All Star. There's like an All Star lane. There's All Stars 3 is about to air in March.
Mhm.
Everybody's super excited about, but I've heard that they reached out to her for the All Star franchise. They brought back lots of old challengers that I thought I would never see again, like
Mhm.
Katie, Tina, Rachel. Like they brought back tons of older challengers, and I heard that people were buzzing like Coral, 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 but I heard that she wasn't interested.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
she was
I'm not sure if
coming for
she's
the
interested
Coral,
in the challenge, right?
right?
but maybe she'll
So
be interested in this because I don't know, child, because they doing these challenges like it's a challenge. Maybe I was about to say maybe she would be interested in this because she'd be like, I can wear cute outfits, I ain't gotta do much. But they got the people propelling from the I don't know. So but maybe she'll do it.
Maybe
yeah.
you never know. I hope they reach. They gotta have somebody that can think back to all these people, to know to resurrect them out of wherever they're at. But yeah, Coral would be super interesting, and I don't even know if her falling out was with Mike. I thought her falling out was with Evan, not
Yeah.
Mike.
Oh,
He was
she fell
really
out with
close
him
with.
more. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it got to be where the challenge started getting super cutthroat. And
Uh-huh.
he was a decent challenger, but they started like taking the challenge and making it to the end seriously and weren't prioritizing friends the same as they had been. And she was
Mhm.
livid. She never came back.
No,
Like
she
Yeah,
something
never came
happened
back.
with the challenge and like they didn't work with her or they cut her or something and I never saw her again.
Never saw.
yeah.
Who else do you think
Dabu
would be good?
Dabu says she agrees with you, Miss TJ. There will always be Bravo people, and there will be some Vanderpump next season,
Probably
and
so.
that CBS took season 1, MTV took season 2. Bravo is going to take season 3. Casting will ensure that.
Mm.
Dabu also points out they let the Miz do Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, that's true.
Um,
That's true, Dabu. You're right. That was a lot longer. He had to
Mm.
do double duty then, but it was a lot longer. Right.
Did he make it far?
I think like week 5. I think like week
Oh, okay.
5 or whatever. But he had to do. He still had to do WWE stuff, in between.
Hmm.
But
Yep, I watched their original season of Real World with the Miz and Coral. It's insane.
yeah. So
that hates me. What are some more people y'all would like to see? I'm curious. I feel like we should make our dream cast. Like, who else y'all want to see up there?
can we do that like at the end and then like let's get through this finale?
Oh, I thought we was through with it. Okay.
No, we're like
I guess because
um
I was through with it, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we do see a montage. Peter presents Phaedra with for a rose,
That was
and
cute.
Phaedra, they do talk their relationship. And Phaedra said she was most excited to come on and meet the Bachelor. She was a Bachelor Nation person, and Max, she's a big Max fan, as am I, lady.
Hello.
Um, and so Sandra and Parvati talk about not being happy to see each other, but apparently Peppermint, who again, she had been watching all these shows, she did help mediate things between them so that they would work together on this show.
It worked because Harvey ain't murderer.
Yeah. And Janelle and Dan talk about how happy they were to see each other and work with each other. They talk about how Dan was easily spotted. Peppermint felt like a free agent. Bergie felt more confident after the graveyard challenge. Marcus and Larsa do admit that their downfall was probably being too vocal. And Marcus explaining how he tipped his hand that night to Dan about how he, knew Dan was a traitor. Marcus and Larsa are back together.
Mhm.
Hell
Lies,
on the
lies,
last,
lies.
yeah. Parvati and Dan gave Phaedra her props. What did you think about that? So Andy asked, their reasoning for recruiting Parvati was for certain reasons, but then Parvati and Dan seem to be colluding and have misconceptions about Phaedra. So what did you think of that segment? Them just realizing how they basically misplayed themselves.
I don't remember it.
Oh, okay.
Oh well, I mean I remember it, but I felt like they kind of just tried to skate around it. Dan was just kind of like, oh, well, I wanted Parvati because I kind of knew her, and I felt like our our ideals would align because we were both from reality gaming shows and stuff like that. So he kind of tried to skirt around it. And then, Parvati was just kind of like, I was looking forward to working with them because I didn't know neither one of them were traders when I came. So it was kind of like they were answering the question, but kind of skating around, like colluding together.
Yeah.
Mm.
Tamara was upset that she got voted out, murdered by Phaedra, and she's like, "Oh, was I the least liked housewife?" And Phaedra said, "No, but you were also going around telling everybody I was the smartest housewife, and
Right.
you." And she's like, "Well, I did think you were a traitor." She's like, "Exactly." So like, so it's like you start to see that these people came in here with just little twinges of bitterness that
Mm-hmm.
they didn't want to like let go of for whatever misconception they have, because they just don't understand gameplay,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they do talk about Pilot Pete selling Peter Pal T-shirts, and
Uh-uh.
I want to point out these comments here that Peter having a problem with lying is funny considering he lied to his ring winner on The Bachelor and picked Maddie. Peter, so a couple of weeks ago in a Facebook group, I think they were trying to allude to Peter being with Parvati, and I think a number of us were like, no, Parvati has a partner, and I had mentioned uh um that I had mentioned that Peter was ran through
Oh,
in a comment, and then I said this because the man ran through his entire final five plus his prime bachelorette,
woo, child.
and I'm just like, so this moral compass
Right.
that you have when now
Right.
because you
Because
just broke up with Maddie when.
right. Exactly. No, you have a moral compass because you lost. People who lose now all of a sudden they have a moral compass. That's what I'm saying.
And you're okay with selling Pilot Peter Pan T-shirts anyway. Ridiculous. So Peter does
I'm
say
with you,
that
Dabu. Sorry.
Peter does say that that Phaedra should have been mad at should have made him a traitor instead of Kate, because then the next day she could have thrown him under the bus, and he feels like she would have stayed around. And I do agree with that strategy.
Yeah, me too.
You said she shouldn't pick Kate.
She definitely should not have. It was such a misstep for her to pick
Yeah,
Kate.
I agree.
Dabu says Phaedra's still saying Dan's a piece of it's a bit over top. Yeah, I don't know. She's still very mad. So they do talk Dan's game.
Wait, I don't know if she is. Is she? I'm like, is she playing it up for the camera or not? Because
No,
then I
no, no,
see
no,
them,
no, no.
but then they're posing for pictures together.
Yeah, no, no, no. Yeah, I do think they've had conversations. I just don't think she likes how he played the game. So that's what I was saying. They did talk about how Dan played the game. I think everybody, including Dan, have agreed that his game was crap. They just Phaedra feels like he threw her uh under the bus.
He did, but so what? That's my thing. He did, but so what? We see
But
traitors do.
we've seen that happen everywhere.
That's
Everywhere
what, yeah.
traders throw people under the bus,
Yeah,
whether there is
every
speculation
franchise of traders.
or
Yeah.
no speculation on that person. I think
What are
such and
people
such is a traitor. Period.
But why are people so mad about it? I know why they're mad about it. They're mad about it because they like Phaedra and they feel like he hurt Parvati's game a little bit. So they're mad at him. But like people, this whole thing was so annoying to my soul. Because I'm like, you can debate whether the fact that that was the best move for him in that moment. People
Mm-hmm.
should have went for Parvati. You shouldn't have done it at all. But like the name of it was, I think that this is what I need to do in order to save myself. He explained it to me very rationally at the reunion, whether you agree or not. That was his process in the moment. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand why people were so butthurt. Like this happened. We watched it in Canada.
Well, I think some people don't think that the reason that he's giving is a truthful reason.
But how?
This
Why?
is the thing. People feel like it's a microaggression. They don't really feel like it was based on any. They think it was. Some people think it was racial.
Why?
Some people just think it was racial because that's just how some people think. Some people think a lot of things are racial and they
That's
might
not
not be.
always the case, though. Sometimes it is. Absolutely. We see it over and over and over in this game. But he articulated to me why he made the choices that he made. And they made sense to him in the moment. Just because she's Phaedra doesn't mean like, oh, she's the black one. Let me go for her.
Absolutely.
Unless there's something that I can see that's concrete that they can point at as to this is he did this because she's this and that and the other. Come on. Like every
Right,
movie.
but they're right. I understand what you're saying, but I'm giving you the prospect of why they feel the way they feel. And what you're saying is he's articulating to me his train of thought in the moment, but we only see his train of thought later on, right? So
Right.
they feel like because we didn't see it and they don't show us his train of thought move, in the process of it. So we've only heard his explanation in interviews post the show, the reunion and stuff like that. And people have feel like he has made up this reason because they like it doesn't even make sense, and that he's made this up to try to make it seem like it wasn't the reason why he did it wasn't what they think it was. So I'm just telling you what some people think.
Yeah.
Whether they're right or he's right or whatever, that's just why some people can't get over and what they think.
But see, I feel like if it had been, let me think of it. If he had done it to Sheree, people wouldn't have cared. That's my point. Like they cared because it's Phaedra and they enjoyed Phaedra and she brought a lot to the show. That's how I feel. It's because of who he did it to, not the fact that she was black. I feel like if another black woman that wasn't as giving as much as Phaedra has offered to the show, the entertainment, the one-liners. I don't like her, but she was great on the show as far as entertainment purposes. She brought a lot of great one-liners, sassy comebacks. Like I enjoyed the drama that she did bring, but I feel like it's just because it's Phaedra. If he had done that to Sheree, they wouldn't have cared less. They couldn't have cared less.
Well, if he would have done it to Sheree, he had not been telling us that he was going to team up with Parvati to go against. See, they felt like it was already a setup because he was already plotting to go up against Phaedra. So they felt like it was they felt like it was a personal reason, and the personal reason was a racial reason. That's just what they think, because they felt like that's just what it was from the beginning. But that's just what they think.
I mean, if that was the case, then Phaedra should not have allowed him to recruit Parvati, because it was him who decided to recruit Parvati. According to postmortem, she allowed him to recruit Parvati.
She didn't see that. She didn't know he was plotting against her, Tamika, and she didn't think it was racial. I'm talking about the people that are watching TV that think this is the reason, and this is why they won't let it go with him. I'm saying this is what some of them think. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying this is what Phaedra thinks. I'm saying she's saying I don't know why some people still have a problem with her, and I'm just with him, and I'm just telling her what some of those opinions are of people watching the TV. When Phaedra is in it, I don't think that she thinks that it was racial at that time, or that she didn't know he was plotting against her, so she wouldn't have a problem. She was trying. Her whole strategy was to take a backseat, and I'm not saying that was Dan's strategy. I'm just saying what's out there, because she's saying I don't know why some people have a problem with him, and I'm telling her why some people have a problem with him. Yeah. Not saying it's right, but everybody has an opinion like a belly button, and this is just what some of them are.
I don't have a belly button. So my whole thing is, I think Dan and Phaedra are fine. Are they friends? Probably not. And again, 2 weeks. But I do feel like, she, that was just her feeling. She's still upset and bitter about it. She's going to be upset and bitter about it. And I don't think that part they're ever going to move past, because she just has her perception. Again, Phaedra's game as a traitor was to keep all the people she liked. Yeah. Okay. And I said this yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. To me, that is not a way to win the game. Because there's got to be a point where you cut the people. Otherwise, you're being very vocal. Oh, that's why this person's here, because she's a traitor. That's why that person's here, because she's a traitor. If you don't eventually cut one or two people that you like, you will not win as a traitor. You just can't.
Right.
You just can't.
And that was my fear, because Phaedra is what you call a reactionary person. Even on the Housewives, you have to do something, right? She has to feel like you've shaded her. You have to do something to get that snappiness and that lethalness of her. She tries to at first come across as a Southern belle, so she's sweet in the beginning. She's not like vocal and attack. And I just felt like her whole thing, she was doing the same thing Dan was doing. She wasn't telling anybody. They like, what you think? Even Sheree, when she asked her face to face, "You're traitor," she tried, say she wasn't. And Sheree's like, who? She like, I don't know who it could be. Phaedra, say somebody at this point.
Say some. At that point, it was like she could have still saved her game, and she just you saw it. Like even Kate was able to like give a name. Like you have to give a name, but also look at Cerie's game. Cerie did not go to the end with every single person that she liked. There was like she cried when she had to get rid of Rachel. She cried when she had to get rid of Stephanie, but it was important in order to she brought two people to the end that she knew she could trust to keep her in the game.
Yes.
And that is how she won. You cannot bring everybody to the end. Dabu does point out something here. Mind you, the first person Dan killed was a white man who is still also crying about it. And so at this point, there's nothing that, like, you can't win either way. You can't.
Yeah, you really can. It's going to be individual perception, but it's just like, let me stop. Never mind.
So they do talk the
argue
poison.
with the internet because sometimes people just go like, "Come on, everything ain't everything." Sometimes it's just a game. Sometimes it's not. I get it. I've watched these shows, but damn.
They do talk the poison chalice, and like the only person that she was ever going to be able to get to drink out of it was Ekin-Su, which I thought was.
Ain't nobody else drinking out of that ugly glass.
Yeah. They talk about CT and Trishelle and the end game. They ask Sandra whether she is bitter about how she was voted on. She's like, I did my best. Ultimately, she did realize it came down to her and CT, and she tried her best to talk her way out of it, and she couldn't. She doesn't hate how she played the game. She felt like the way she played the game got her to the end. It just, that was not. And then I agree, because the person who really should have kept her in the game was MJ. And instead of MJ reflecting on that, we get the next segment where MJ is just being nasty.
She blocked him soon as she got home, boo. She was already mad. As soon as she got off that plane, got her phone, she blocked him.
I mean, like I said, I'm 50-50 on. I just rolled my eyes so much at those two, like Phaedra and MJ. But like half of me is like, let her have her feelings. She's upset. Like, that's cool.
Right.
It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. She doesn't have to be friends with these people. She knew them for 2 weeks. It's not any substantial amount of time. I don't know. She still got on my nerves, though. I don't know, something about her, the way she just looked pissed the whole time.
And the thing is, she, like some people, think it was done on purpose.
It wasn't.
The thing is, the fact that you can't notice that, girl, it wasn't even done on purpose, so much so that you probably could have maneuvered your way out of it still at the end, is why you deserve to lose the game. I'm sorry.
Yeah. With CT, it was done on purpose. With CT, it was done on purpose. With Trishelle, it was not. Now, I get what her thinking with CT. That's why she should have switched her doggone vote. Because with CT, it was on purpose. He knew MJ wasn't no traitor, but he just wanted less people to share the money with. And he only trusted Trishelle. But with Trishelle, it really wasn't. She thought the whole game plan was to vote out Kate, and you switched it up. You might be a traitor. Like, that really was her rationale of thinking. So MJ can't pivot. She just can't pivot.
And Miss TJoy been talking. She gave multiple reasons of why suspicion against CT was that he was a traitor and that he was protecting her along the way to bring her to the end and for her to lose. Like, I listened to her reasoning in some other interviews. I'm like, oh, okay, I can follow your train of thought here and see why you're suspicious. Wish they would have let us know sooner, but I understood, like, her train of thought there. So MJ, girl, you could have, like Tamika said, you really could have done something to put yourself in a winning position here. You just watch them to debate about voting you out instead of you speaking up.
But did you feel like she was more salty at Trishelle than CT, though?
Mm-hmm.
And
really? My whole thing, she still was salty at Trishelle, and she don't wrote Trishelle's name down.
That's what I'm saying. There was no way for her. Listen, the person she seemed saltiest at was Trishelle. But my whole thing is, you kept writing her name down.
You tried to banish her.
Yes.
So how was she supposed to save you and get you out of it? You're sitting there saying, oh, you wrote my name. She's like, I have to write somebody's name down, and right now we're at a stalemate. Or like, what? This is why I'm saying that I can't roll with MJ on her thought process.
Right.
She was not working to help herself. She just was salty.
Mm-hmm. And she was like, what did she say? She was like, she said some BS online. Like, she's just like on this morality. thing. Like the right thing was to end the game and us all go home. Like we won, we're done. Well, Trishelle was suspicious and CT wanted the money. So, honey, you just ain't
Right.
it. I'm sorry, I would have taken the money too. Like I'm saying, if I got to get down to two people to take more money, like I knew my family for how my kids, my husband, my loyalties to them. I
Yeah.
met you 2 weeks ago. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, but I would rather, like, I gotta think about. I'm gonna give this third person money, and this means I can't do X, Y, Z for my family. You got to go because I want to do
Right.
Yeah.
X, Y, Z. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I'm gonna be more loyal to.
And if my ass gets bitten on, like, if I vote to banish again and then I end up the one banished,
Mm-hmm.
I screwed my own self. But it
Mhm.
was I had to, if I had that little inkling, a suspicion that something wasn't right with somebody. Hey,
Mm-mm.
hey,
Listen, I would have been if I was Trishelle and CT. I'd have been in cahoots. Like, this is what we about to do. We about to get MJ to banish Kate. Then you and I are gonna banish MJ, faithful or not, and then we're gonna take this money. I want 100 and something thousand, not 60 some
Exactly.
thousand, 60 some thousand. Like
yeah,
that's what I want to see. I want to see them be ruthless and do it on purpose. And I
yeah,
would love to hear that game plan going into it. See if they're
Mm-hmm.
able to pull it off. Do you know?
Right.
yeah. Debu points out if MJ had it her way, Kate and Phaedra would have made it to the end and still lost. I mean, not unfair in a perception here. Loyalty was to Bravo, not faithful. She played herself right. She kept saying her loyalty was to get all the faithful to the end, but she kept playing like, well, Bravo.
Right. It wasn't right. At least be
and,
authentic.
and and then the minute when she should have stuck to all faithful to the end, which is keep Sandra, she went Bravo, and that was her downfall. Debu says that's what Cerise said when she screwed Ari. My family comes first. Absolutely. And I think that's why Pete, Cody, whoever else is pissed off because Cerise would not let Ari get to the end to share the money with her. But again, the game is called Traitors.
Mm-hmm.
Traitors traitor against each other.
And
Yep.
Ari bowed out. Like he didn't even fight for it. He
Yeah,
bowed
because
out.
he win.
That's
And
on you. You bowed
and
out.
she said in an interview that Ari was a traitor for one murder. She's like, I've been
Exactly.
fighting for my life this whole time trying to survive. Why am I going to share with him when they ain't
Thank
got
you.
to
You
do
ain't done nothing.
nothing? That's what she
Nothing.
said.
That's why
What
he
do you
bowed
say?
out because he knew he ain't done nothing.
Which is why it would, like, even in this, like, it's the same thing with Kate. Like, it's unfortunate, but Phaedra should not have chosen Kate. She should have chosen somebody like a Peter, somebody that she could have thrown out the bus and kept
Exactly.
it moving. And that's why it was like traitor or die. Because the thing is, at that point, you've got to die if you are
Right.
not going to allow me to get you. And that is the advantage of being a traitor. I agree with her. So
Exactly.
that was the reunion. I think I covered most of the stuff. Uh, it was a lot of business. I felt like
I
it
enjoyed the
just
reunion. You didn't?
I enjoyed it, but I also, again, without there being a lot of gameplay, I think some people are going to be like, "Oh well, MJ deserved to." No, MJ didn't deserve anything because the game is called The Traitors,
And
and so
even if she had played a better game, like she went to the end with potentially a pair. They weren't, but let's just
Right.
say they were in cahoots. That was also her mistake. Like these people
that
have a
was a mistake.
history. They're going to be more loyal to each other than they are going to be to you. That's why you
She
needed a
was
Period.
not a good
Sandra
player.
with
She was
somebody.
not a good player. Point blank. Period. She got as far as she got because people allowed her to stay there.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I
She's
agree
not
with
a good
you.
player, and so she need to be mad at herself. That's what she need to be
You
mad
never
at.
go to the end with a pair unless
Exactly.
you know you are a traitor and that you would win if the pair is there.
Right.
MJ, if you don't go and buy you a bag and some new Louis earrings and some sunshades and take you and your husband, your baby out to eat and get over it, ma'am. As much money as y'all got, you not hurting for it. Like, get over it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
I,
can
I,
spend that 100. You can spend that 100,000 that you would have got. You can spend that in a month already, and you already got it. So calm it down. Calm it down.
at the end of the day, it was quite a few missteps on MJ. On her. She needs to blame herself.
Yes.
Um,
Mhm.
and I understand being salty at them, but I don't understand being bitter
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, I would be kicking myself like, "Frick, I shouldn't have did that. Damn, I shouldn't have did that." And that's all that would be. I'd be like, it would have been great to split the money with these two at the end, less money for for them, obviously. But I understand now where I misstepped. I misstepped in trusting and coming down to people who had long, standing history, and I should not have voted out. Um, I should not have voted out Sandra. And I would apologize to Sandra. Sandra, my biggest
That.
mistake
Mm-hmm.
was voting you
Voting you
out
out.
and trusting anybody else at that round table. When we had those conversations where you said to me that I was a faithful and you believe I was a faithful, I should have stuck with you from that point on, but I didn't. And that literally, that's how she should look at it.
Yep.
Exactly.
And Sandra did an interview and they asked her about how MJ was acting. And Sandra's like, y'all didn't see nothing. She was like, that's what Sandra said as far as how MJ was acting so bitter the whole entire. She's like, we filmed for 3 hours and y'all didn't see nothing as far as how was acting.
Oh
She's like, but I
wow.
don't feel bad because she banished me 20 minutes prior to that. And
Right.
then she got banished because of it. Like, that's what Sandra said.
Because that's literally what happened. That's
Mhm.
literally what happened. You banished Sandra with no qualms, took
Right.
Kate to the end, and they got mad because it played out not in your favor. That is not.
Exactly.
That is now no one's fault but your own. That's
Yeah.
no one's
Exactly.
fault but
And
your own.
I would have some sympathy for her, some more sympathy for her if she
Hmm.
had fought to save Sandra. Do you know what I mean? Like if she
Yes.
had been going down swinging
Yes.
trying to save her ally, but she was like, "Oh, bye."
Right. She wrote
Bye.
her name with
Right.
she said nothing, wrote her name with no problem while the other ones are like sitting there like and she's just looking back and forth at Kate and Sandra like, well, I think it's Sandra, so I'm just gonna vote her out. Agreed.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Trishelle was the only one only voting, because of the majority. Trishelle was the one that was like, wait a minute,
I
Sandra. Like, what? You know what I mean? It wasn't even
mhm.
MJ. She was like, fine, bye,
And
Sandra.
let me say this: it's not a popular opinion. I know lots of people hate Trichelle's life, but
Uh,
during the game, there were many times when she was right, and then people just didn't listen to her. She didn't have the power of persuasion, the power to collect people up and get them to do what she wanted over other stronger personality and game players. But there were several weeks when she was like, ever since Dan, nobody would listen to her, and she was right. Right with this whole
mhm,
Kate thing, she was like, "We need to get Kate out." Blah blah blah. She kept barking at people. Nobody listened to the woman. So there were
mhm,
just multiple times along the game where she had the correct theories, just the inability to rally the people to get done, which makes somebody more successful and a better player. But the inability to rally people and get the job done. At the end, she ended up winning, but she's been pretty like she had some great calls along the way.
fair. I just didn't. I was mad that she got kept in the game in the first
I know.
place. So
I
Me
know.
too. I
I'm sitting there. I was watching it like, was it episode 10 or the episode 9? And I'm sitting there on Twitter throwing chairs. Like, why is Trishelle still in this game? Why
yeah.
is anybody still keeping Trishelle in this game?
Right. And then
And just for those
I didn't
reasons.
know what Phaedra was saying that her and Trishelle had talks or something,
Yes.
and
So they
they
had a
had become really
conversation.
close. They had become cool, and I didn't know that because I was like, "This is stupid. Why are you keeping her
He
Yeah.
in
liked
here?
her,
This is stupid."
and she said she.
Again, she said that she kept everybody to the end that she liked. She
Right.
and Trishelle early on had a conversation. Trishelle boohooed to her and said, "I have never won a game, like the challenge or whatever."
Yeah,
Meanwhile, she won Fear Factor,
no, I didn't know that. I know she
and
won.
so
It's not even like a big challenge present. She might have done like 3 seasons, maybe like 14 years ago. She's
yeah.
not even like a big challenger.
And so
She's
she's
being
like,
John John.
I barely ever get to the end of these types of things. And Phaedra took that on as, oh, she really opened up to me. I'm gonna keep her to the end.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so again, like I don't hate on it because Trishelle did what she had to do to get to the end. And even with her minor misstep at the right there at the end, she came back around, voted MJ out, and so only had to split the money with one person. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
I don't care for Trishelle, but I'm like, she did what she had to do, and I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect the gameplay.
Yeah.
I have always liked CT. I don't think he did. Nobody talks about him really. I don't think he did a ton during the game. Phaedra liked him.
Yes.
Exactly. That's why he had to acknowledge he got as far as he did because of her. And he was the only one able to really do the challenges, you know what I mean, to bring money. So I think that was another reason why people kept him in, kind of, because it was like,
Listen,
even with this fake clock, are we ever gonna be able to do these things if we vote him out? You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna do them?
right. And that they leave CT like the last two times he won, I feel like on the challenge, they just ignore him and they let him go by and then he wins. Like every time. Take this man out. These people don't
On
know.
the challenge, I don't know why you would ignore CT. He is
I
a beast.
know. Because
He
he's
is a
quiet
beast.
and he stays over in the corner and all the drama and will vote with the group and blah 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 blah. But if any of these people like watch the challenge like that, they should have said, "You let CT get to the end, he wins. It happens every time. Take him
Right.
out." He got to the end and he won.
Yeah. So okay, that wraps it up. But so again, are there any other people that so for season 3 that we want to see? So season 3 should be recording in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, it's they were casting for it a couple of months ago, or maybe a month ago. And that it should be recorded in the next couple of weeks. So
See, I mean, I want like immediately Taylor Hill
I
on this
know.
season.
I know.
Like,
She's not going to
girl,
be, they're going to, she's not going to be able to be. So
but wait,
if you guys,
Tamika, my thing is, why can't they? Yeah, her contract ain't up yet, but it ain't air until next year. What is it? By the time that it would air, the contract would be over. Do you know what I mean? That's
that's
what
not how
pisses me off
contracts work.
about.
What
I know
contract with
it's not how it
CBS?
works. But damn, it's gonna air after the contract is over.
Yeah.
Her contract with who? CBS?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So her
2022.
contract with CBS ends 2 years after her final. So her contract with CBS does not end until September 25th of 2024, because she won September 25th of 2022. So her big brother Rainier Games did not extend her contract at all. It because it fell in within
Okay.
her contract. So
She can't
again,
do it, Miss TJoy. Which I'm saying is stupid if it ain't gonna air till far
Till
after.
January, right? It's not going to
Yes,
air till January, right?
that's what I mean. Like, how are they gonna? I'm like, I wish Taylor would fight for that. Like,
um
like I said, if you win, why are you stuck? If you win, that should like let me loose from this damn contract. Let me do what I want.
Hmm.
That should be a part of the contract.
So
uh
MTV doesn't care if they have people in contract because Johnny's
I don't
got to
think
be
their
in contract,
contracts
isn't he?
last like that.
MTV is,
It's a whole different beast.
yeah, I think it's they will allow people to do, because their contracts are different. There's a lot of things I noticed that the MTV people are absolutely allowed to do.
Hmm.
um
Okay. What about?
yeah, they're in pre-production right now, so that means that their people will be headed to Scotland in a few weeks.
I hate it so bad.
Okay. So what about we said Coral? Them. We
Coral,
said
Melissa Beck. I've said I want to see Nene Leakes,
I hate
Miss
New
New
York.
they're
York.
not gonna let her,
I
right?
hate New York.
This is under Peacock, Bravo. You know she's still suing
I'm
them.
not saying that these are realistic. I'm saying what.
You she would like.
I thought we were saying people we would like that could really do it. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
No, I want to see who these are, who I would
I
want to
know I
see.
would love to see Nene.
Miss New York, Nene
Yes,
Leakes, Omarosa.
Oh my God,
that's
I
who
hate
I was gonna say.
all
Omarosa,
of them. Every one of them. Oh
They're
my
great TV. Two of them have played
great
games,
TV.
God.
But I think
and
isn't New York going back to House of Villains? I heard she's going
yeah,
back to
I
House of
heard.
Villains.
I
Right?
think she did. I think
But
she went back in.
I would love to
House
see
of Villains
Omarosa.
finished
See her
recording
on
this
House,
weekend though.
huh?
House of Villains finished recording this weekend.
Oh, it already finished. Okay. After seeing Omarosa again on House of Villains, I was like, I need her back on my. I love. She is such good TV. Whether you love her or hate her, she is
Can't
such
stand her.
good
Can't
TV.
stand
She's
her,
from,
but she
I've
was good
met
TV.
her. I've met her. She's from the same. We went to the same HBCU. She was Miss CSU at my like at our school, which is a very prestigious thing. But like, no, I don't like none of
What
them
college is
people.
this?
Central State University in Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't like none of those women. So I would not enjoy that personally.
I
Um,
love Nene. I would love to watch her.
I would love for Nee. I love Nene. I love
mm-mm.
her.
I don't like her
Uh,
personally.
It's
um,
such a
The
disservice,
only one I like from Housewives is Candy, and everybody else can kick rocks.
and I don't
I,
like
I
Candy.
I would see Candy. I could see Candy winning.
I can't
I
stand
would,
it.
but I don't think
It's
she's going
ugly.
to. I don't think she would go on Traders right now. She has a lot of stuff going on, but who else? So yeah, so Coral, Melissa Beck. I'm trying to think of what other universes. Again, I said Jade from America's Next Top Model,
I
Camille
don't know
from
who that
America's
is.
Next Top.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, let me look them up.
I
Jade. Did you
give
watch
me.
America's Next Top Model?
I
I
did,
used
but
to watch
not
it back in the
like
day.
I don't remember. I remember like three people, and it's like prominent people, not anybody. Like if I saw a video or something, I might be like, "Oh, I remember her," but not to
Hmm.
call them by name. I can talk about survivors. Y'all don't watch out. I would love to see like Kelly Wentworth. I would love to see Sophie Clark. She would kill it. Um, I would love to see like a Yami, Chantel Smith. Give me her.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, Chantel. Yeah, I like Chantel.
This is Jade from America's Next Top
yeah, I don't
Model.
know
She
her.
was on season cycle 6 or 5. Cycle 6. The winner of that season was Danielle.
Yeah.
I love Danielle. I follow her. I still follow her. She's the one that had to get her teeth like fixed, I believe. And then I'm trying to think who else. Oh, Camille. We said right. I said
What do you
Camille.
think about Shan, Tamika?
I like
Shan.
Shan.
Oh, Shan would be
She would be
She would
good.
be
great.
so strategic. Did you see her on? You watched her on Survivor, Miss TJoy?
I didn't watch her on Survivor. I saw her on the USA like challenge.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
where I picked her up because I just started watching Survivor, so I've
Survivor.
only watched like
Yeah,
4
she
seasons.
was a force on her season, like a force. Like one of the, and I'm a
Doesn't she
long
hum
time,
this song or something like that?
yep.
Yeah.
I am a longtime Survivor watcher, and it is rare that a Black woman, especially, is so at the forefront of the edit. It was a Shan show. Like her tribe kept losing, they kept going to tribal. She had her little song, and she was in control of her tribe. Like it was such the Shan show that season.
Mhm.
She's super, super strategic, fun personality. She would give it on the Traitors. Like I know she's getting into acting and all that right now, but I would
Isn't she
love.
trying to? Doesn't she like count herself as being like a Christian comedian or something like
She
a?
is. She. So that's how I know Shan. Like I know Shan from being in not an influencer, but like a Instagrammer,
Social media
like
presence.
comedian,
Contact
and that
creator.
she was, a pastor. And
Mhm.
so when she went on Survivor, which I did not watch her on Survivor, I was like, oh my God, like I hope she does really well. But then she came out and all these people hated her, and I was so confused because she's so amazing.
Listen, and me too, because they hate her because they don't think that she should be a pastor playing in the way that she did. And mind you, she wasn't like she wasn't mean, nasty, disrespectful to people. She didn't go like she wasn't like that, but she would be like, Miss T-Joy, Tamika, we're together. Like I would never get rid of you. And then she got rid of them. Like she would lie and manipulate in the game, but not in like a mean, nasty, disgusting way. She didn't talk about people. She didn't talk about down about their character. Her and Ricard would battle it out for how they wanted the game to go. And she
Hmm.
was pushy because, yeah, we're fighting for $1 million. But Miss T Joy, I promise you, it's just because this audience is not used to a Black woman being so in the forefront of the show. And she was killing it. And she was ruthless as far as gameplay goes, And they
Yeah.
thought that it was wrong for her to be a pastor and lying and backstabbing like the way she did. It's a game.
Oh, okay. I
This
see what
is
you're saying.
this is
Yeah.
Camille. I believe she was on cycle 2.
I remember
Yeah,
her.
she be in a lot of
American.
drama with her baby
She
daddy and stuff.
I loved her. She's also Jamaican. So but I just remember she was so dramatic, but she's also hella smart. I followed her through the years. She's very, very smart. And so let me pull up Chantel for people who do not know. Um,
I love her. Like it makes me so sad because she got like I'm talking intense hatred, like intense stuff put in her inbox. She would share it sometimes, and I'm like, damn, it was sad.
yeah,
Mm,
and then she went on USA two,
Right.
yeah.
one, and she got kicked off, and it was
Baby.
so yeah, the way she got kicked off, and then she came back out, and she went after Alyssa, and she did a whole Twitter post about it. And I'm
Listen, if
sorry,
you
everything she said was hilarious and true. And so this is
if
Chantal. She was on Survivor. You can follow her on Instagram. She's hella hilarious. She does a
so
lot of
funny.
skits. She's so funny. I love her. But yeah, so she would be a mastermind. They might
Yeah.
have to get her out, but she would be a good trader.
Yeah.
Um, Dabu says Natalie
Mm.
Howard,
Natalie Anderson. That would be
Natalie
interesting.
Anderson.
That would be interesting. I don't know how Natalie would play. Hmm.
What about Rachel from The Bachelorette?
Um, I think Rachel Lindsay would be good. They would kick her out though because she's an attorney and she's smart as fuck.
I know.
They
But it,
would not let her stay. But Rachel would be a great addition to this. I don't know if she would do it,
Hmm.
but she would be amazing.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else from The Bachelor would be good. Beverly Hills Housewife. Uh,
Um
I don't
um
I don't like most of the ones that left except for Garcelle.
I think Crystal Kamikoff would be good.
Okay. Um,
She's married to Rob. He did like I think like the Star Wars franchise. I don't know, forget. But anyways, she is Asian. Um she what else? She this season she's the quiet one. They always talk about how she doesn't really talk or have
mhm.
much of a storyline, but I think she would be good on there.
So I pulled up her photo for people who don't know her because I don't. But I'd seen her face, so I know what she's saying. Um, yeah. So her, um,
They
mm,
saying this might have been her last season because again they feel like she don't have enough drama. So like I was just gonna say her or Garcelle,
yeah,
but
because I can't do
Erica or Kyle, I can't do
oh,
neither one of
I
them.
can't I can't I can't do it. I can't.
Listen, if y'all make me suffer through Nene Omarosa and what's the other one, New York, y'all can deal with it. Kyle Richards.
No, no, not
Yeah.
Kyle.
Uh,
Definitely not Kyle. That's Garcelle. Definitely not Kyle. Oh, Kyle Richardson? No, sorry.
I don't know nothing about.
Um,
Is that the one that does music?
no.
Erica does music.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's
It's
an
expensive
actress.
to be me. You talking about her and she was going through all that drama with her husband. He was
I don't know. I
arrested.
just know she was on Dancing with the Stars and they were talking about her music. Is that her?
Yeah,
Um,
Okay.
Erica.
uh, Debu almost had a heart attack. She's like, hell no, I'm Rachel. I was like, wait,
Oh, not
that's
that
not.
right.
She's like, oh, I thought you were about.
No,
No.
not her. Devil.
Oh God, please no,
Please,
not Nick
Devil.
Vanya. No,
Please. He would
no.
irritate me just like Pilot Pete. They
Yeah,
would get
that's
him
like
just to
basically
irritate
Pilot
me.
Pete 2.0. Like,
Yes,
no.
they would get him just to irritate us, Tamika. Just to
Uh,
irritate us.
You
They
need
would
those
get him.
people, don't you?
mhm,
I said you need
mm.
those kind of people, right? You need like a variety. Like out
I
of the
can't.
three
I
you
can't
chose,
stand Nick.
or I mean, out of the three you chose, I would pick Omarosa out of the least of the three that I hate.
That you Omarosa is the least that you hate.
Yeah, I hate her the least, so I would pick her. I
Okay.
really can't stand like
Don't like Reach. Don't like Janelle. That hate.
Yeah,
I
I
can't.
can't think of any other bachelorette, because knowing them, they'll probably ask Matt James, and I'm just like, no.
That's the black guy, right?
What if
Yeah.
they tried to bring Matt and Rachel? I would sick to my stomach.
I mean, Matt and Rachel get get along, but I don't think they would.
No, I'm talking about
Married?
Matt and the Rachel he chose
Oh,
as the Larsa and
Rachel.
Marcus of the season. Matt
Okay,
and the
yeah, I
Rachel
could
he
see them
chose.
doing that. Yeah, I could see them doing that.
That would irritate me.
Trying to think
What
of
about
anybody else.
Carlton, Alfonso?
Huh?
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hmm,
think he wouldn't do it. I don't think he would do it.
I
No.
don't think he would do it either. I don't know if that's his wheelhouse.
Yeah. He just need to host dance.
And he might think he's a bit above that. Remember, he's a serious actor. He hosts Dancing with the Stars now, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if he would. I
And
don't
he
know.
hosts America's Most Fun. He's a host at this point. I don't know what he been acting in. He's just a host at this point.
Yeah. I just don't. But that's like Alan Thicke and what's his name?
Robin Thicke, Alan passed away.
Alan Thicke and the guy from Bob Saget, right? So they did the same kind of transition. Like they were serious actors and then they not serious actors but comedic actors and then they transitioned to hosting. So I do wonder. I don't know. I don't know if Alfonso would do it.
Yeah, I don't
But
think he would do it. I don't think he would do it.
we can think of anybody else from Dancing with the Stars that would. I don't know.
Like a dancer, a professional?
Yeah, like a pro.
You think
Like an
Val
old
would
pro.
do it? Max's brother, you think he would do it?
Val might do it.
Oh, you know who would do it? Derek Huff would do it. He would do it.
Derek would do it.
Or Juliana? Is that her name? Her sister?
Julianne.
Julianne would do it. What you
Carrie
call
Ann
it?
Nobles, you would do it.
Carrie Ann would do it. She would do it. Yeah, so I just need them to think more outside the Bravo. Notice how we didn't say many Bravo people.
Yeah, it's more reality shows than Bravo, but I think because it's Peacock, they just always gonna have a good amount on there.
Yeah. So Debu says you need people that are at the round table that will speak those things. Yeah. And also people who won't, so they can speak.
We need some Big Brother people and some sort like.
Oh, Big Brother.
You need to bring Rachel. Oh, Rachel already been on it. That's the first season.
Maybe X. Maybe Xavier.
I've seen him twice. I don't. He's.
Xavier. Okay. Xavier.
Yeah, but I can also see them bringing
Give
him.
me Hannah.
Hannah, yeah.
Hannah would be great at this.
Yeah, give me
Hannah Chada would be great at this.
From the cookout.
Or Tiffany. You think Tiffany would
I can see them bringing Tiffany. I can see them bringing Tiffany. I just know
I don't
that
think Derek will ever do it. I don't think Derek will ever do it.
Yeah.
Other than doing that podcast with what's his name, Cody. He ain't gonna do nothing else.
I don't think Derek will come on. And after Dan, I don't think Derek will come on and do this.
Me neither.
No.
Legends are gonna be like, Reyes, give me Danielle Reyes, she'll do it.
Danielle Reyes would be great on this.
Yes.
Great on this.
Brittany would be good.
Which Brittany?
That was
Brittany
on Ranger Game.
Okay.
She's really good.
Her because I just saw her. But what about dang it, I had somebody. Did you guys see Janelle's first season of Big Brother or second All Stars, like first All? No, what's James Ryan? He would kill it.
Who?
James Ryan. Like he's Rhine. How do you spell his last name?
What about K-Star? He would be good.
He been on Rhine, Tamika. He would be killer on Traitors. Ruthless, would not care, would backstab whoever to get to the win. He is good TV.
He's a TV producer now, though.
True, and he would never do Big Brother again because it's too long. But I think he would get away for like 2 weeks for Traitors. Like he would be so good to me. I love him.
Um, what about Jason Guy? He's also in TV production as well. I think Taylor was
He
saying
would do it.
yesterday.
However,
But I think he would do this, and I think he would be good.
he'd be so. See, he's like a
He's so
real.
charismatic.
Yeah.
He would. I don't think he would be Pilot P 2.0, but he also is charismatic enough that to get people to follow him.
Mm-hmm.
See, he makes. See, when I watch him in that podcast, he makes me think he's so laid back and so like even kill now. I don't know. I'd have to see it. I'd have to see him
But
go.
but I said that there is a part of the game where you have to be that way.
Right.
Like you have to be a little bit laid back so that you don't either get banished or murdered. Because look at Sandra. Sandra was pretty laid back, except for the points where she's like, "No, guys, we got to do this, this, and this," and they were like, "Oh, that was smart."
No, I worry he'll be damn laid back.
Oh, damn! Oh, too laid
Well,
back.
we know she doesn't have no
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
but
yeah,
they
yeah.
might
No.
be able to get away for 2 weeks. 2 weeks is not the same as filming like 2 weeks of class in the middle of semester. I don't know.
If they're about to start, don't they get like a if they do it in like May, right? Don't they get a spring?
Jason was on The Real World.
Huh?
I don't know.
Carmen says Jason was so cute on The Real World. We're talking about Jason for Big Brother. I don't know if he was ever on The Real World.
Season 3.
Yeah, season 3.
He's the one that's on there with Rachel and was on there with Chada, right? Like
yes, they have their own podcast.
Yeah, he would be good on there. He would be good. What about anybody from
Who was
Amazing
the doctor that made a cameo on one of the challenges? Dr.
Oh,
Will?
Dr. Will? Dr.
He's
Will?
never going to do it. He's already
do
said it.
Because
So
he really, because the reason why he really ain't doing nothing, child. He really ain't doing nothing. People always try to act like he a mastermind. He not. Anyway, don't get me started on that. He never gonna do it though. He's never gonna do it. And the fact that they paid him to come do that challenge is crazy to me.
We said The Miz, so that's MTV / USA. For
Veronica might come from the challenge. They heard that, but I'm
okay. So I was gonna say, who from the challenge do we think? Oh, Carmen said, "Oh, oops, there's a Jason from The Real World that went into production." Oh, okay, so there's a Jane, there's a Jason. Yeah, so on the challenge, who do we also think? So
people hate her life. Tori Dill, she'd probably be good at it.
Oh, she would be.
But I'm not bothered.
People said Wes Ramsey.
Wes would be my top choice.
Didn't they say he accepted or did he decline it?
No,
because
I don't. I think I think he got called for season 1, and he declined it. Or was that Corey? I think Wes got called for season 1. He declined it, and then he didn't get called for season 2. That being said, he just did spoiler alert. He just did House of Villains as well. So maybe because the House of Villains contract didn't interrupt Bananas from being able to do Traitors, so maybe he'll be to do Traitors if he still wants. I don't know who else.
Him and his wife loved the show. Like they had Rob has a podcast. They had him on, and they were asking because the wife is like obsessed.
I don't think he got called for season 2 though. I think he got called for season 1 when nobody knew what the show was about, and then he didn't get called for season 2.
Oh no! I know. I didn't know season 1, but I was just saying they were asking him, and he was trying to act all coy, like I don't know if I would do it. I don't know if I would do it. And the wife was like, I would love for him to do it, and I was like, why is he being so coy about it?
Yeah, probably because they didn't call him for season 1, 2. Probably because he didn't get the call again. And sometimes that happens because when you turn it down, then they're like, oh well, the person was too big for that. And it wasn't like he was under any contract that would have stopped it. Right. Because also Taylor got called for season 1. And she had to say no because she's still under contract. But she had told us that months and months ago, and people saw her tweets. It's like, oh, Traitors will probably never call me again. And they're like, again? And it's like, yes, they called her right after she won, but she couldn't go on because
I don't even know why they would call. They should figure that somebody's,
like she's still under contract. Dabu's saying Cam from the challenge.
Oh yeah.
Dabu feels like Tori is all brawn and no brain. Hello, sometimes you need that.
I agree.
I like
Maybe
it.
somebody will take her to the end and luck her into a win. Hello. And then what do you think about Bailey and Swaggy maybe coming in together? I don't know if they would leave their babies.
Oh,
I don't know if they would do it. I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt
I
they would.
don't
Um,
That would
know
be
if
cute. That would be cute.
I don't know if they would do it.
mm-hmm.
Please don't bring Nicole. I've had enough of her. No,
Who?
Who?
Nicole.
Nicole, big brother, Nicole?
Yeah,
Who?
no,
Oh,
I'm done with her.
Which
Michigan,
one? What
Nicole.
season?
Huh?
BB reindeer winner,
Yeah,
Nicole.
it was from two
Yeah,
seasons.
I'm
That
with you.
Franzel.
Nicole Frankel. I mean,
Franzel.
Franzel. I mean,
Yes, I'm with you. Don't. I'm with you. I would not, because she'll freaking win. She goes on
I
these
know.
shows,
I know.
she will be at the end and she will win. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I can't think of anybody else unless you guys can.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So, I mean, listen, we've given them a good range of opportunity here. Please take it. And
Yes,
then for I don't know about you, Miss TJoy, but Janelle and I will then also like to see Taylor Hale on season 4. Thank you.
yes,
And
I would. I
literally, she's
also
the only
would.
one I want. I don't care if she wins or lose. I just want to see how she would play the game.
Yeah, me too.
I
Yeah.
want to see her outfits.
But I also want her to win and her outfit.
Outfits are important.
Yes.
Trishelle did
And I
not show
also
up in
want
that
her to win.
department while she
Right.
was supposed
If
to
she
I
be.
can
know.
win, that'd be at least get my girl to the end of the game. And I
Yeah.
don't want to know who she is. Like, don't.
No. I don't think most people would know who she was coming
Unless
into
you follow
this.
Big Brother like super super closely, she's not
Yeah.
gonna have a legend Janelle
Yeah.
Landis
Right.
behind her.
I don't think there's people who would know who she was. And I'm gonna bet you I don't think people will actually, even if they know who she was, will understand her gameplay unless they watch live feed. So that means that's somebody
Exactly.
who's a BB stan, right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Because even if you watched Big Brother Reindeer games, it's not like she's won. So it's not like she's coming in 2-time winner, big for a Big Brother, Taylor Hale, winner
Right.
of both seasons. They're just gonna be like, oh, like okay, we can handle her. And
Right.
she's so good at making people feel comfortable, right?
Right.
So yeah, like, and I hope, like, even if she starts out a traitor, that she gets converted, because I know she would love that.
Ooh, I would like to see. You guys probably don't know who she is. Danny from Big Brother.
Rance?
No, what the heck is her name?
Oh, Danielle Donato?
Yes,
Okay.
I think she would be good. She would be interesting. I'm over my pettiness that I had about her. 22 a little bit,
But
but
knowing them though, they would bring her and her dad, and she would be pissed.
yes,
Yes.
or her and Nicole, because there's beef. There was. I
Yeah.
think they're cool now, but there was beef with those.
And that man has me blocked for no reason, which says to
Same.
me he's a
You
racist.
said?
So,
Same.
yes,
I'm blocked too, and I have no idea why.
yeah.
He blocked you too?
I have no idea
Yes.
why, because I've never interacted with him on Twitter.
Never said anything about him. Don't never watched his season. Don't know his game. I barely know anything except for that Danielle is his daughter and that they don't get along. I don't know nothing about that man.
He played.
Never
Why would he
interacted.
block y'all? That
I
is
don't know.
crazy.
It must have not liked my tweets about in Big Brother 23 or something, because that's like really when I started tweeting. Oh, you know what? I talked mess about his child.
But his child don't like him.
Because she played in 22, and that's when I started tweeting about Big Brother. Big season 22, she was on, which she made me livid.
Mhm.
She had me annoyed in that season just because of the way she chose to play. So that's very possible that I talked crap about, but it wasn't like talking mean about her.
I bet you his daughter doesn't even have you blocked, and his daughter don't even like him.
Instagram. We inbox, so no, she doesn't. Danielle and I do.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Well, listen, as always, you can inbox us by
Yes.
following all of us
Yes.
on social media. So, Miss
Yes.
TJ, tell the people where they can find you.
They can find me at Miss TJoy on social media platforms.
And Janelle, how about you?
I'm just Janelle Michaud on everything: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Currently, I'm doing exit press for Big Brother Canada 12 and hopping on with the Bounce Checks crew to talk about it, chat about it whenever they have me.
Okay. So as always, you can follow me at Entertainment in Color everywhere: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spoutable, all the stuff. Currently, if you did not see it, and I will try to repost it maybe tomorrow, Chantel and I wrapped up the reunion of Love is Blind this week. We went live right after this the finale aired. So Wednesday, we had a really good conversation about it. The finale was crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, go to we did it on my channel. We had been going back and forth doing some of the episodes on each other's channels, but the reunion you can find on my channel. So go watch it if you missed that. And I will also try to tweet it again and share it on Instagram and Facebook. And after this, I will be covering Traitors UK season 2, which just dropped as well on Peacock TV. So I said if once it dropped on Peacock, I would cover it. So I plan on covering it, and I believe Miss TJoy is going to join me in that coverage. And I think Chantel said as well she would come on to cover some of the episodes. So we'll figure that out when we'll chit chat that as well. So right now, I think it was a 3-episode first drop, and then it's going to be dropping weekly episodes. So we've just got to figure out the format of how we're going to cover the episodes moving forward. And then I think I think me and Chantel might cover Summer House Martha's Vineyard. We're trying to figure that out. But that is where we are right now. So as always, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a thing. Still trying to build up this channel. And you guys want me to bring more contact, and if I can give you more content by having more people follow me. So,
Absolutely.
so if you can, give me a follow. And there's links in my description of this episode for where to find me everywhere, as well as some of my old content: Love Island, Bachelorettes, Golden Bachelor, all the things that we've covered these last few seasons. So thank you guys for checking me out. Dabu is asking, is there any amazing race people? I am not covering it. I know that Miss TJoy and
No, she was saying any amazing race people like that we
to
know
come
the
on the
name.
show.
Yeah. The guy James, remember he was on he
Oh
was from
yeah,
Amazing
James wants
Race.
to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he would
James
be
wants
good
to
on
do
there.
it.
I think he would be good.
I could see James doing it and doing well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Excuse me.
I can't think of anybody.
Not right now.
Not right now. I'd have to go through a list of people to go through. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. Love you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.